with Chapo's or Sumi. He was a heck of a running back and had some good players, but just overall talent from top to bottom. This might be the best Crockett team that Dobyns-Bennett has faced in this short amount of time they've been playing.
The first game was that 17-6 win over the Pioneers and that team that was led by Choppy Sumo. Indians held him in check in the first half, and in the second half they did some things, and he eventually finished with 28 carries for 126 yards. But the next 5 contests, let's face it, were not close. I mean, the aggregate score was like 280-26 or something ridiculous like that. And since then, much has changed at Crockett, including the arrival of head coach Hayden Chanley. And he's in his 4th year. Certainly there were some coaches before him that kind of got things headed in the right direction. I credit Jeremy Boskin early on. We had former Dobyns-Bennett Indian Gerald Sensabaugh was there for a short time. And but Hayden came in and was the benefactor of some just outstanding talent. You know, Prince Colley, who was listed this week as second-team will linebacker as a freshman at Notre Dame. He had Dante Hackler, of course, Cade Larkins, the outstanding quarterback, thrown for more yardage than any other quarterback out of our area in histories at ETSU. So it wasn't like he didn't have any talent, but he was the young guy at the right time to come in and take over this program. And now after the exodus of all those players, he's still got talent coming up through the system. And you can tell he's doing just a fabulous job with the Crockett Pioneers.
Yeah, I mean, when you demonstrate that you know how to put a program together, how to sustain a program once it's put together, and you're located in an area such as Crockett is located, you know, people will beat a path to your door. You know, it becomes a place where families will want to move so that their young men would have an opportunity to play for a program like that. It's on the up and up. It's coming up in the world, and all credit to Chanley for, you know, as you correctly said, inheriting some positive things, but also maintaining and growing with that.
Chanley, as we mentioned, is in his 4th season at Crockett. He's 30-9. Now, last year, about this time, I think it was this same week, the Pioneers beat Knox Webb 31-7, and that was Coach Chanley's 21st career win. Remarkably enough, that made him Crockett's all-time winningest coach.
Really?
Yes.
That is an interesting stat.
That is incredible.
So, you know, when we say that it's been a struggle for the Pioneers through the first 45 years of their history, we're not lying, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they are far and away on the best run in their program's history with Coach Chanley. And I remember vividly Coach Chanley playing at Daniel Boone High School. He's a 2011 Daniel Boone graduate. He was part of the last Daniel Boone team to win over Dobyns-Bennett in 2009. That game was here. This is his first trip back here since that game. And he was part of that great senior class that you guys may remember. It included Austin Reppert. It included Travis Keever. It included Kevin Connell. And those were just a group of guys that played everything together growing up. Mm-hmm. From the time they could pick up a ball, a bat, a basketball, anything, they played together. And when they hit senior high school at Daniel Boone, that was a special class for the Blazers.
Yeah, and that's a rarity nowadays, unfortunately, that you have, you know, that kind of sustained longevity. You know, that's part of the reason that some of these programs that we've discussed in past have the success that they do, is that you have kids that start out in Pop Warner League or the Boys Club League or whatever kind of local community league that you have established. They play together, they stay together, they learn each other, and that creates something special when you get to the high school ranks and their bodies begin to catch up with their intellect.
Yeah, no question. And after high school, Chanley went on and played 3 years at UVA Wise, graduated from UVA Wise with a degree in sports management. And he joined the Cavs coaching staff for a year. He was special teams assistant in 2015. And then he went and joined the United States Air Force National Guard, where he graduated basic training and technical school training in November of 2016. Returned back to the area, served on the coaching staff at Bluefield College under Dewey Lusk for a year, He coached running backs, linebackers, was the co-special teams coordinator. And then in April of 2018, he was named as David Crockett's head coach at 25 years old, mind you. And so now he's the ripe old age of 28, coaching in his 4th year at David Crockett High School. He's a joy to talk to. He's a fine Christian young man. He's got a great family. His brother Hunter is now the new golf coach at their alma mater, Daniel Boone High School. He's got some former Pioneers, particularly quarterback Ryan Berger on his staff. And I'm just very, very impressed with his, you know good coaches when they're well organized, they're well spoken. When I need something as a member of the media from Crockett, it takes him about 2 seconds to get me team stats. It takes him 2 seconds to get me a depth chart. It takes him a little bit longer than that to get me some information he wants me to include in the preview that I wrote, because he wrote, I don't know, good 200 words of that himself. But I just can't express how much respect I have for a young man like Hayden Chandler.
Well said. Well said. I think, and it speaks well that Crockett was able to identify some things in him, especially at that young age, that would present him the opportunity to do this. I mean, you're setting him up for quite a bit of success in the future when you start out that young and you have that many wins. Todd?
Well, and I think his team has bought into what he is. I mean, like you said, Steve, has great morals, a good Christian man, very good work ethic. Like you said, I mean, one of the best coaches to deal with as a media personality for you. And I think that's why you see him having success. Yes, they have some players. That always helps, but I think they buy in to their head coach, and I think that's what you see on the field.
I was on the field talking to him while you were doing the interview with Coach Christian, and he kind of, he just said, "Hey, Mr. Wilmoth." He always calls me Mr. Wilmoth. I don't know why. I guess that. He said, I've got to go. We're going down here in front of the baseball stadium to have our team devotions.
That's a good deal. And I'm glad he has respect for his elders.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm way his elder. There's no question. Meanwhile, at Dobyns-Bennett, let's talk some Dobyns-Bennett football history. I have a correction to make on the stats that I've been giving you here for Dobyns-Bennett Indian football. I'll explain that in a minute. This is still the 100th anniversary year of Dobyns-Bennett football. That hasn't changed. It's the 101st Dobyns-Bennett football team. We'll not call it Team 101, though. It's the 1,000. This is officially now, if you've followed along, this is officially the 1,092nd game in Dobyns-Bennett history. I told you it was that same number last week. And officially, even though the board over here says 809, officially it's 808. Why the difference? Talking to Mr. Jimmy Burleson earlier this week, we were talking about the game that wasn't the game last year against McMinn County. Remember the regular season last year when Daniel Boone was unable to go because of COVID, Dobyns-Bennett was credited with a win. In the playoffs, when that game was canceled and Dobyns-Bennett eventually was moved on to play Maryville, that game was counted differently. It was counted as a no contest. Therefore, that is not a win on Dobyns-Bennett's ledger. That keeps Dobyns-Bennett at 808 wins officially, according to the TSSAA, and I appreciate Jimmy Burleson for making that correction.
Well, there you go. And that explains it, because I had already caught the fact that you had printed 808 and the sign says 809. So assuming, if things go our way tonight and we come out with a win, that won't change?
Yep.
But we figured this out now?
Yeah, and Coach Chanley figured that out, too. He said they already put 809 up there because they know they're going to beat us.
Oh, no. You don't want that locker room fodder.
I know. I quickly corrected that and said, here's what happened. So anyway, Dobyns-Bennett now one of 34 programs with 800 wins. Congratulations to Amarillo, Texas, who joined the fray last week. And we've got two teams going for 800 tonight. Paducah Tillman again. They have had several chances at 800. And now Booker T. Washington out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, won their 799th last week. So we've got some folks knocking on the door. I can tell you, after those two get there, we got a few weeks before we get to talk about another program getting 800.
Well, I've got a little something for you, because Amarillo by morning, they could have 801.
Yes, they could.
You're welcome. I'll be here all week. Please tip your waitresses.
I've got no comment.
All right, with that, we'll step aside. And on the other side of this 2-minute timeout, we're going to hear from your head coach, Joey Christian. Look forward to that. We're back with that in 2 minutes. This is the Joey Christian pregame report and Dobyns-Bennett Indian football right here on ESPN Tri-Cities.
Well, Coach Christian, after a week on the road, we're back in town at J. Fred Johnson Stadium against David Crockett.
Hey, this is the way it's supposed to be right here, at the friendly confines of J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Expecting a big crowd and hopefully a crowd that's, into the game and supports us and, can be pretty loud and affect David Crockett when we need him to be affected.
When you talk about David Crockett, Coach, could be up to this point one of the best teams that you face, and really starts up front. They're a real big football team up front.
They are, both sides of the ball. They're definitely, I think, ask me after the game, I'll tell you for sure, but I definitely think they're, probably the best team that we've played up till now. Really good at their skill position, but like you said, in their lines, both sides of the line there, and their offensive line, they have some big ones and they have some small ones, and those small ones are the ones that I worry about. they go 250, 220, 315, 245, and 310 across the front there. And, and the smaller ones there, the two guards, 220 and 245, they pull with them, just like we do. And, that's problematic can be problematic for a team, a big power team. But we just got to be able to get off blocks, stay in our gaps, and get off blocks, and just make tackles, get the football down when we need to get it down.
A lot of people talk about this team, and they always talk about last year with Prince Colley on this team. This arguably could be a better football team than they had last year.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't play them last year. I can't compare them, and what they had and everything, but I know certainly they lost obviously a very good player in Prince Colley, but they got really good football players here all over the field at all three levels of the field. So those guys, that's why it is a big challenge for us tonight, and that is, that's why we've got to be able to come out tonight and be laser focused and, play. Last week we played a little better, but just assignment and execution football. That's what we got to do tonight as well.
Defensively, what does Crockett bring to the field?
A lot of size. A lot of size up front. You think they're big. You think they're big on the offensive side. Now, their three down guys on the defensive side is going to go 245, 315, and 280. The two Emile brothers there that, golly, they're about, I told Steve Wednesday, if they come to Golden Corral, Jackie may have to close the doors on them. But very big right there. Got very active linebackers, Whaley and Farrell, who turns around and plays tight end for them on offense. Does a great job, but they're outside linebackers, Clark and Hopper. They just do such a good job, and I'm telling you, defensively, they're going to give us so many looks. They're going to give us so many blitzes, so many different things that it's going to be problematic. And listen, there's going to be times tonight they're going to blitz gaps. They're going to get on the edge of blocks, and it's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Indians. But we've just got to be able to get the line up for the next down, play, like I said, play assignment and execution football. Next play when it's 2nd and 13, then hey, we need to break one for 15, or we need to throw a pass for 17, so that we don't put it in some long 3rd down situation. So they do such a good job of creating havoc with all those guys. And then in the back end, they take Brendan Reed, and he's the eraser. Whatever, if anything breaks through to the 3rd level, he makes the tackle. So we got to, hopefully we can make him miss, or we can, and then hopefully we can do some things to maybe formation him, out of where we're wanting to attack their defense at. So it'll be a big test for our offense tonight.
Coach, in a game like this, a team that likes to play physical, maybe run the clock down, everything on special teams tonight, it's going to probably be as important as it has been all year.
Well, I think, the things I preach to the team every week is, kicking game. We got to win the kicking game. We got to win the penalties, the penalty battle, and obviously we got to win the turnover battle. So, and we've done really good in the turnover battle, and we've done pretty good in the penalties. Last week was not such a good night for us. But, it's going to be important for us in the kicking game. We took a step back last week in the kicking game, and that was disappointing. We didn't have our punter. Graydon Manning was out last week, which he's also our holder on PATs and field goals, and I think that hurt us in a PATs type situation. So, we've got to create an advantage in the kicking game. But they got a very good kicking game as well. So we'll see. That'll certainly be a key to tonight's game.
Coach, if there's one thing that you're looking at tonight that you've got to do kind of maybe a little special to beat Crockett, what is it?
Well, listen, I don't know that we need to be anything special or do anything special. What we got to be is Dobyns-Bennett. We got to be what we are, what we've been, and nothing else. We don't need to be anything other than who we are. We need to play hard, as hard as we've played the first 3 games, and that's the key. Listen, if everybody's running to the football, everything else will take care of itself. The score at the end of the night on the scoreboard, it'll be what it is, and it'll all, we can live with that. as long as we play hard and as long as we, get our assignments right and then execute what we're supposed to do, everything will take care of itself. But we just got to continue just to play hard and be the most physical team out here.
Coach, we're looking forward to it. The ESPN Tri-Cities wish you and your team good luck tonight. We'll see you at halftime.
All right, Todd, I appreciate it. Roll Tribe.
All right, that's your comments before tonight's game against David Crockett from head coach Joey Christian. Some interesting things there, Tiger. He dropped that little tidbit about the punter Greg Manning not being at the game last week. He's about a week late.
Yeah.
But we didn't have any idea last week.
We didn't. We did not. We sure did not.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. On the other side, we're going to start taking a look at the David Crockett starting lineup. Before we do that, we do want to say welcome in to those of you who are watching on YouTube. The live stream, if you will, from Dobyns-Bennett High School. Once again, the ESPN Tri-Cities pleased to be part of that presentation. And, of course, that is sponsored, Tiger, by our good friends at Spivey, King and Spivey.
Yeah, Spivey, King and Spivey, LLP in Kingsport, Tennessee, is a general practice law firm focusing on criminal defense and family law issues. The firm serves the Tri-Cities area in Kingsport, Johnson City, Bristol, and the surrounding areas, including Rogersville, Elizabethton, Greenville, Irwin, Mountain City. Provides over 75 years of combined experience. I know where a bunch of that came from.
Yeah.
In matters dealing with criminal law, divorce, custody, business disputes, personal injury, workers' compensation, construction, civil litigation, medical malpractice. Spivey, King and Spivey LLP combines decades of trial experience in criminal and civil matters with the energy and perseverance which are demanded in today's modern legal environment. Call 423-245-4185 to schedule your appointment with Spivey, King and Spivey today.
And since 1942, ESPN Tri-Cities has been your voice of the Dobyns-Bennett Indians. Tonight's radio broadcast being streamed worldwide on YouTube in conjunction with the Dobyns-Bennett Athletics live stream to bring you play-by-play commentary and live video right here from J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Whether you're on the go or tuning in from home, the award-winning team of Tiger Brooks, Todd Freeman, and Steve Wilmoth will bring you all the action. That's Tiger. I'm Steve. Todd, you'll see down on the field before long. So if you're in on YouTube, we appreciate you very much. If you're on radio, 94.3 FM, 1400 AM in Kingsport, or ESPN-Tricities.com, or the TuneIn app with keyword search WKPT, you ought to be able to find us somewhere.
We're everywhere, man.
We're everywhere, baby.
We are everywhere.
We are everywhere. All right, when we come back, we'll be right here. We're going to talk about the David Crockett Pioneers starting lineup. We're back in 2 minutes. This is the head coach Joey Christian pregame report on ESPN Tri-Cities. Welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium, where the Dobyns-Bennett Indian Marching Band in full unis are on the field.
Yeah, man, it is,
I like it.
It's cooling down a little bit. Get the kids in the right uniforms.
And Todd says the weather is outstanding and next level down below.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is absolutely perfect for football. If you're a player, a spectator, or a radio personality, it is absolutely a number one spot on tonight, guys.
Let's talk about these David Crockett Pioneers. First of all, up front, left tackle. 6'3", 250, a senior, Trey Marler. Yes, his daddy is Casey Marler.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah. Left guard, Dominic Hopper, 6'2", 220, a senior. The center is Isaiah Tizor, 6'1", 315, a sophomore. Right guard, Parrish Combs, 5'11", 245, a senior. And right tackle, Tyson Matthews at 6'4", 310, and a sophomore. Well, they got sophomores 315 and 310 on the offensive side of the football. Matthews just started his first game last week. So obviously, Tiger, it's a big offensive front the Indians are going to have to deal with.
It is, and we've had some good size that we've contended with thus far this year, and this is going to be no different tonight. These guys can play, good size on both sides of the ball. I'm just wondering if Casey can elbow his way in to get anything to eat at the table with a kid at 6'3", 250. He dwarfs in.
Well, I noticed Casey's losing a little poundage there on the morning show, so maybe he's not been able to.
Quarterback for the Pioneers is a sophomore, 6'1", 215, Jake Fox. Coach Christian compares Fox to a younger version of Garrison Barrett, a volunteer that we saw a few weeks back. Fox has been very efficient in the 2 games he's played. He did not play in the game at Letcher County. He was quarantined and unable to make the trip. But other than that, he's thrown a lot of passes for a lot of yards and some touchdowns for the Pioneers. And we were watching there in pregame. He's a little bit unorthodox with his technique, but the ball comes out pretty well and gets there in a hurry.
Yeah, he's got good size. He's got a little bit of an unorthodox release. It's very low, kind of to the just helmet level. He doesn't kind of get the ball up, which, it's one of those things, if you're going to release it that low, if you're not able to get the quarterback, you get your hands up, try to affect the throw. But it has some zip on it when he's releasing it. So if he's anything like Mr. Barrett, we could be in for a long night because that kid could sling it.
Well, I was watching him. By the way, guys, y'all talking about being seen around the world. You're now being seen on the Jumbotron. So good looking pictures of y'all up there. So, hey, listen, this kid does look, he's got some size to him, some thickness, and he like you said, he's got a kind of orthodox throw style, Tiger, but it looks like he spins it pretty good, though. I mean, he looks pretty talented.
At running back for Crockett is Brendan Reed. He's he does everything for them. I mean, his name's on the depth chart about 10 times, I think. He's a starting running back, doing a great job. When Fox was out, he had to take over at quarterback against Letcher County and threw 3 long touchdown passes to 3 different receivers. So they like him running the football. They'll line him up in the Wildcat, Tiger. And most of the time you see a guy come in out of the Wildcat formation and think he's going to run it. They'll throw the ball out of the Wildcat with Reed.
Yeah, I mean, that gives you a lot of options, and it really gives the defense a lot to think about. And, he's just one of those kids that, it seems like every school has one of those 5-tool kids that just kind of comes in and does anything you need at any given time. He's one of those. But, it's interesting you bring that up because there, again, as has been the case most of the games we've played thus far, a lot of people, kind of double dipping on both sides of the ball, which, as we have seen, pays dividends for the Tribe late in the ball games. We'll see how that pans out tonight.
Reed, by the way, is 5'10", 195, a senior, as is his twin brother Braden, a little bit lighter at 5'10", 185, a senior, the team's leading receiver with 10 receptions for 197 yards. He scored touchdowns in all 3 games receiving for Crockett, and also has a pick 6 for the Pioneers defensively.
Yeah, and 5'10", and the other wide receivers, 6'3". You know, you've got some things to think about because they've got a little bit of length advantage on us at those positions compared to our defensive backs,
including Isaiah Lang, 6'3", 185, the senior. They'll play fullbacks. They'll play H-backs. Gabe Farrell, 6 feet, 215, a junior, and Jake Whaley, 6 feet, 180, a sophomore. The primary responsibility there, you know, Coach Christian said they do a lot of things a lot of the other teams do. Sniffer back with the H-back. They'll line up with the tight end down and spread you out. So a lot of the things that are common with high school football these days.
Right, and you know, people have different terminology for those positions across different teams, but a lot of the times, a lot of the same formations, a lot of the same concepts you'll see from game to game. There's things that kind of come into vogue and you see a lot. There's other things that sometimes you'll see that you know, have lingered on for an extended period of time, and not a lot of people are doing those things. But there's lots of similarities between what Crockett tries to do and what you'll see Dobyns-Bennett
do. Defensively, for the Pioneers, they play an odd front, and what that means is it's a 3-4 basically. Defensive ends, Julian, I don't know how to say, Emily.
Sounds good to me.
5'11", 280, a freshman, okay? Right beside him at nose tackle, Javion Emily, 5'10", 315, a sophomore. There are two other kids named Emily on the roster, by the way, and another one was listed at about 5'10" and 240. I'm assuming they're all related. I can't even imagine.
Yes, and there's another one that's
yeah, he's a puny
74 freshman, Jason, and so you know, I think there's a lot of groceries being purchased at that home.
Jason is 5'10", 240, a freshman. So
Pipsqueak.
I know. I told Joey the other night when he made that crack about the Golden Corral. So those two guys starting on the defensive line are one trip through the buffet away for being 6 bills combined.
Exactly.
And Tiger, what me and Steve was talking about, Steve, you brought this up. You know, this is one of the teams that is actually trying to play different kids on the offensive defensive line. And so Emily's, I think, Steve, like you probably reached out and told me that they didn't start the first of the year. And so he's trying to actually stay fresh as well. So we'll see how the freshmen and sophomore pan out on the defensive line.
Indeed. And they started the first time last week against Morristown West. Now, they were happy with the way they played. You know, they can clog things up down there. It's going to be interesting to see how much movement the Tribe offensive line can get on those guys.
Right.
You know, because we're undersized against them, let's face it.
Yeah.
Linebackers, Coach Hayden Chanley names Dominic Hopper, 6'2", 220, as the Sam backer. The Mike linebacker is Jake Whaley. The Will linebacker is Gabe Farrell. And the position he calls the hammer goes to Aiden Clark, 5'11", 175, a senior. Also, Braden Reed, we talked about him from wide receiver, will flip over and play some linebacker. Also, the defensive secondary is a lot of the skill guys flipping over and playing corner. Rucker, 5'11", 175. Lang, 6'3". At free safety, Garrett Clark, 5'9", 165, a sophomore. And then the Cats, you got me. Brendan Reed, again, Reed back there. And you heard Coach Christian talk about Reed in his comments and just what he does from his safety position. He's the team's leading tackler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, lots of duplication on the depth chart. We'll see if that comes into play tonight.
Special teams. I found this interesting talking to Coach Joey Christian. The punter is listed as Edison Googe. The place kicker is listed as Chase Schreck. Now, Schreck had a 44-yard field goal last week against Morristown West, but it was Googe who came on late last year and kicked the game-winning field goal from 30-something yards at Tennessee I, the game that eventually was a difference in Crockett winning the conference championship. So, obviously, a pair of fine kickers for the Pioneers.
Yeah, and we've kind of been, last week was a little bit of down. You heard Coach Christian talk about the fact that we were a little bit off in the specialty game last week due to some injuries and things like that, which I don't know how it escaped us that was the case. However, tonight, it may be that things even up a little bit with our special teams, which has up until last week again been stellar. I mean, just on both sides from kickoff coverage to the kickoff, the reception team and the punting team, the punt coverage team, all those kinds of things. We generally have had a hand up in those situations, and we'll see tonight how it evens out between Crockett and Dobyns-Bennett.
They've got 2 snappers listed on special teams. One a long snapper, one a short snapper. One, I guess, does punts. One, I guess, does PATs and field goals.
Yes, right.
Kick returners are Rucker and Reed. The punt returner is Aiden Clark. That's a look at your David Crockett Pioneers. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. Come back. Starting lineup for your Dobyns-Bennett Indians up next right here on ESPN Tri-Cities.
Nation. On May 15th, 2021, the Dobyns-Bennett Football Foundation hosted the 4th annual One Tribe Golf Classic at Richfield's Golf and Athletic Club. Their goal for the tournament is to provide financial assistance to our DB football program. Through our sponsors, we are building a community that will provide year-round support for our current and future players. Please direct your attention to the 50-yard line, where we would like to recognize one of our top sponsors tonight.
All right, welcome back here to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. And there we're recognizing Mr. Todd Nickens before the game. I was trying to figure out who that was. But one of the fine sponsors of Indian football. Let's turn our attention now to the Indian starting lineup. First of all, offensively on the offensive line, Tommy Sexton, 6'1", 243, a senior at left tackle. Braylon Banks, 5'7", 281, a junior at left guard. Carson Christian, 6'2", 256, a junior at center. Cardin McVeigh, 5'10", 215, a junior at right guard. And John Tebow, 6'3", 222, a junior at right tackle. The first time this year we've had a repeat starting offensive line for Dobyns-Bennett. And talking to Coach Christ, before the season, they really had Ryder Brown pegged to play at left guard and Tebow to start at right tackle. In that third scrimmage against Lord Botetourt out of Virginia, Tebow was injured, and so they had to move Ryder Brown back to right tackle, and they inserted at left guard Braylon Banks. Then Brown went down after the Tennessee High game, and so they brought in Eli Smith for the Volunteer game. And meanwhile, Tebow gets healthy. He comes back to his right tackle spot last week against Morristown East, allowing Smith to concentrate on his defensive line duties. And meanwhile, Banks has come in at left guard and played pretty well. That was kind of the surprise of the whole unit there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, kind of watching those guys as they have kind of struggled, just not really struggled on the field, but struggled for continuity's sake because, you've got different personalities each week. It will be very interesting tonight to see these guys have 2 weeks back-to-back that they've been kind of a constant out there, because last week was a great game. I mean, they protected well, they opened up some holes well, very balanced on through the air and on the ground, and so it'll be interesting to see. We've already talked about, can this bunch get a push off the line against a group of defenders in front of them who outman them, not outman but outsize them at any rate. And I've seen these guys have some good success against people who are bigger than them, because it's just a matter of scheme and technique, and they've executed well.
I talked to Coach Ty Hayworth during warm-ups, and of course, Coach Hayworth said this last week, guys, was the first week that they didn't miss any assignments. Now, he doesn't say that, you didn't get the right block or whatever, but it was the first week that you had an assignment to who you're supposed to hit or who you block or whatever. And he said it was the first week that they didn't have any whatsoever. So he's really excited about tonight, with this bunch being the second week together playing in these positions.
Coach Christian said Wednesday night it was the best game his offensive line had played all year, and it's reflected in the passing yards for Dobyns-Bennett, I think, Tiger. Yeah. The two quarterbacks combined to complete 23 of 28 passes for 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That being Jake Carson, 6'6" junior, and Noah Blankenship, the left-hander, 6'2", 172 junior. I mean, those two guys interchanged last week often in the game, and it was seamless.
Yeah.
Seamless transition.
Yeah, both had great success. You had 200-yard carriers on the ground as well. And so, I mean, it was very balanced, and they executed to a high degree.
Running backs last week, the Indians rushed for, I forget how many yards it was, 140-something, but you had 4 running backs rush for between 32 and 45 yards. Between 5 and 8 carries apiece, really spread the load. Hunter Minton, the 5'10", 165 senior. Caleb Baker, 5'10", 158 a junior. Ishawn Graves, 5'7", 165 a senior. Andrew Myers, 6 feet, 166 a junior. Meanwhile, we had 9 different receivers catch passes. Mm-hmm. 4 guys had 4 receptions, and 3 tight ends caught passes.
Yeah, there was enough passes being thrown around for everybody last week.
We do have a new starter this week at one wide receiver position. Hayden Lipford is listed as a starter at 5'11", 138 a senior. The other wide receiver, Hayden Russell, 5'11", 158 a junior. They've also listed Levi Evans as a starter at tight end, 6'3", 210. That leaves a team's at least the second and third leading receiver on the team listed as backup roles this week.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The depth is key for Dobyns-Bennett. It's proven itself week in and week out. You see Levi Evans get the start down here at tight end. Obviously, we're going to say his name here in a minute as well. He's kind of our version of the Crockett's
Brendan Reed.
Reed, and he's kind of that guy that kind of plays those roles when we need him to play those roles. And so, interesting that we've got that many people who the coaches are comfortable with seeing them start and getting some play time.
The slot receiver is a team's leading receiver, Hayden Shear, 5'11", 180 a senior. Shear has 9 receptions for 180 yards on the year. Gillespie, 8 for 148. Phillips, 7 for 140. Rushing, Graves leads the way with 184 yards. Minton, 109, and Myers, 105. Baker with 68 for Dobyns-Bennett. So the offense has been really good. The Indians averaging 38.3 points per game, averaging 339 yards per game, and taking care of the football, Tiger. Only 2 turnovers in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, just a great job. I mean, we could talk a long time about how the level of opposition, may or may not be there, may or may not be what we face a little bit later on in the season. But still, when you're executing, you're not missing assignments. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. If you can execute and do the assignment that you're supposed to do, it makes a lot of difference in your success and execution on the field.
Well, and I mean, you're limited to so many different, so many touches of the football, and you do not want to give up the football, and so turnovers have been big, and so far this team has done well with hold on to the football.
The Dobyns-Bennett offense has 63 first downs on the year. As we mentioned, only 2 turnovers. Winning the turnover battle by a +8 margin is Dobyns-Bennett. Rushing, averaging 144 yards per game, 195 yards through the air passing. And averaging 6.4 yards per play. The Dobyns-Bennett Indian marching band is on the field. And by the way, those flags that they're carrying, the flag corps, are spectacular.
And over the next 2 hours,
and we're going to have the Dobyns-Bennett Indian Marching Band playing the national anthem here in just a minute before we go through the Dobyns-Bennett Indian defense. Of course, we're recognizing and remembering what happened in New York and Washington, D.C. That will be 20 years tomorrow, Tiger. 20 years tomorrow.
But eventually crashed in a field outside Shakespeare, Pennsylvania. As a result of the actions of the terrorists, almost.
A lot to remember. That's one of those moments in time where you remember where you were.
Absolutely.
And I certainly remember where I was. And it's hard to believe it's been 20 years already. But tomorrow, college football will be honoring the same. That should be a neat thing to watch. I know not Army, but Navy and Air Force are playing each other too. That should be must-watch TV tomorrow, that football game. Dobyns-Bennett in the class move here, certainly recognizing that. And I'm sure that's happening across stadiums here in Northeast Tennessee. Southwest Virginia high school football typically does a great job honoring America. Many teams come out with flags coming out of the tunnel. I think that's pretty cool. I actually meant to mention that to Coach Christian this week. I wanted that to happen here. Maybe they're probably wise enough.
And the band is playing taps before it goes on.
Please remain standing for the play.
Now a national anthem from the Indian Marching Band. another great job by the Indian Marching Band with the National Anthem and Taps. And then we to the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Let's go ahead now and continue with our introduction of the Indian starters on the defensive side of the football. And defensive end, Blake Dunford, 6'4", 211 senior. The other defensive end is Trace Benedict, 6 feet, 205, a senior. Defensive tackles are Eli Smith, 6'1", 203, a junior. And Asika Capimo, 6'3", 261, a senior. Capimo had his best game last week, I believe, Tiger. Played outstanding in the interior. Linebackers, Branson Carswell, 6 feet, 184, a sophomore. Levi Evans, the team's leading tackler now with 32 tackles on the year. 6'3", 210, a senior. The outside linebacker, Hayden Shear, 5'11", 180, and a senior. The corners are Hunter Minton at 5'10", 165, a senior. Nigel Vidal, 6'2", 165, a sophomore. And the safeties are Caleb Baker, 5'10", 158, a junior. Making his first start at the other safety tonight is Hayden Atchison, 5'11", 144, a junior. This last week, Dobyns-Bennett limiting Morristown East to, I believe it was 38 yards rushing, something like that. The Indian defense allowing only 18 yards per game on the ground. And last week, picked off 5 passes. The first time in 51 years, Dobyns-Bennett has had 5 interceptions in a game.
Yeah, it was especially, they were especially greedy. They wanted every basket that went up in the air. And the defense just shined last week. As you mentioned, the down linemen, defensive front did a fantastic job. Our linebacking core, Carswell has been, he and Evans both have been pretty special in each and every one of the games. Lots of tackles all over the field, pursuing very much headhunters from their position, and back, you got to give them their due. I mean, they did a fantastic job identifying where the pass was going, getting into those lanes, and doing a very good job.
You know, I think you talk about Carswell. I think the team has not been surprised, but he's another one of these linebackers that is coming as a sophomore, and you can just see the specialness of him and what he's brought to this defense.
Evans had 10 tackles last week. We talked about the offensive balance. Evans had 10 tackles. Nobody else had more than 4, but a dozen Indians had 2 or more tackles. I mean, when you talk, I think it's overused sometimes when you talk about team wins. Last week was the perfect example of a team win.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. You have that many tackles, but you've taken away that many opportunities because you've got five interceptions. So you're taking the ball away from them, and yet you've got that many tackles. So, I mean, just lots of people being very active and executing at a high level.
And special teams for Dobyns-Bennett, of course, Titan Thomas, the place kicker, took over and did some punting last week with Manning away. Actually, his only punt was 46 yards.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
It was great.
And landed inside the 20. Dobyns-Bennett on the year has punted 7 times. 4 are inside the 20. Meanwhile, Thomas on kickoffs has landed 15 of 21 attempts in the end zone.
Yeah.
So the kicking was outstanding, has been outstanding. Yeah, we missed a couple of extra points last week. Returning the ball, a couple of times the ball was on the ground. We got to get those things cleaned up. For Dobyns-Bennett, captains are Nathan Sons, Blake Dunford, also Tommy Sexton, and Asika Capimo. Parrish Combs, a captain for Crockett, and some others whose numbers are hidden from me currently.
Looks like number 8, John Rucker's one of them.
Yep.
I'm even down here. I'm having some
Brendan
issues.
Reed, number 4, is one of them. We'll be calling his name a lot. And the coin flip there. And the coin flip has apparently been won by Dobyns-Bennett. They will defer, and Crockett will elect to receive. And it looks like Dobyns-Bennett will defend the scoreboard end of the stadium. The other captain there for Crockett was Isaiah Lane. For Dobyns-Bennett in its white football pants, maroon jerseys with easy-to-read silver numerals.
Yeah, they were very nice to you tonight.
Yes, they were.
You know, you're talking about the kicking game, guys, and the problems that they had last week. You know, I think with that I didn't catch, with Manning being out, you know, with him being the punter, it was huge. But Manning's also the holder, and so hopefully him being back this week kind of cleans some of that up, him being the starting holder.
Yes, indeed.
Spectators are important in this process.
I'm not sure why Manning was out. I have to believe it must have been a safety protocol. That's great.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
But the fact that there was only one punt probably led to the fact that we didn't pick up on it.
Yeah. So it will be.
Just a minute, y'all missed me.
Yeah, I told Todd pregame he would have fixed that for us if he'd been here, but he was somewhat otherwise detained last week.
Actually, I think this time last week I was riding go-karts and listening to you all.
There you go.
Well, the other thing in our defense, last week, the press box was a zoo.
I heard about that.
We could not concentrate on what we were doing.
I heard the press box became the press box, i.e. the Morristown Suites.
It was the social.
So Thomas will kick off from the right hash mark. One deep back for Crockett, and that is John Rucker, also standing on the same hash mark. So Thomas approaches, and wherever you're listening, it is Tribe time here at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Rucker will take it at the 5 to the 10, up the near sideline to the 15, and he's swarmed and hemmed in and dropped as he gets to about the 19-yard line. Good coverage by Dobyns-Bennett. They kicked it over towards the sideline, and nowhere really for Rucker to go.
Yeah, they another great job of coverage downfield, kind of hemmed him in. And anytime you're minus the 20, it's good.
The clock did not start, so we're still at 12 minutes.
Bonus time.
Yeah, so Fox with Brendan Reed to his right in shotgun formation. He'll hand it to Reed straight up the middle and ran into one defender and then hemmed up and dropped by a host of Indians. Capimo hit him first in the backfield, and he's back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, no push right there from the Crockett offensive line. Good stand by the defensive line.
Levi Evans came in to clean it up. And apparently the clock still hasn't started, and now the officials have noticed that. And a timeout on the field.
They're holding the controller.
Coach DeBusk out there having a word with the official.
On the phone as well, so.
It will be 2nd down and 10 from the 19.
Checking out some technical issues here in the press box on the other end.
Yep.
There we go. It's a roll now.
There we go. Let's see what we're going to run it down to, guys. We really missed 2 plays. And I guess they're probably going to keep it rolling because on that first play, the clock should be running.
Yeah, correct.
And they've stopped it at 11:45.
He's going to roll it right here.
Yeah. So here we go. Dobyns-Bennett and 4-man defensive front.
Okay, let's go.
Reed now to the left. In motion is Rucker. Fox fakes that way, wants to set up the screen. It's tipped and nearly intercepted by Dobyns-Bennett. Baker, I think, came in there and tipped it away to deny the screen pass.
Yeah, that was identified early. We knew exactly what was going on. We were ready for it. Had a free rusher right there, right in the quarterback's face, and we had that one scouted out real well.
Steve Baker is one that tapped it, and I tell you what, Eli Evans almost had a chance to pick it up off the carpet.
3rd and 10 for Fox. Fox checking the play. 3 wideouts to the right for the Pioneers, 1 left. Fox has the snap, drops back, wants to throws across the middle, incomplete. Evans kind of running with his back to the play. As soon as it got to Lane, he just knocked it away, incomplete.
Yeah, that was on target. Evans, just a headsy play right there, was in position to make a play on it and disrupted just enough to cause that incomplete pass.
For David Crockett, number 6, Edison Googe.
So Edison Googe on to punt for the Pioneers.
Dixon. 21, Hayden Russell.
Googe kicks it away, a wobbly kick. It is taken by Dakari Dixon across midfield to the 45. He's over to the 43-yard line where he's tackled by Braden Reed, but great field position for Dobyns-Bennett. Will scrimmage. They'll mark it at the Crockett 42, it looks like. 1st and 10 Indians.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better start to a football game right here. Great opening series for the defense, and we get the ball at the Crockett 42.
We're going to say the punt went for 34 yards, which they picked it up at the 47 and returned it 11 yards to the 42. Quarterback for Dobyns-Bennett, the sophomore, junior, I should say, Jake Carson. Evans comes back across the formation. H back left, 2 wideouts right, 1 left for the Indians. The give is to Baker, I believe, up the middle. And Baker, fighting his way forward, will have 3 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, nice little scrum up in there. Good push for the initial run from the line of scrimmage.
Julian Emal is the pronunciation used in the PA here, so we'll go with Emal for those. I like him way better, but Emal.
Emil.
They're an Emal wide when they're put together, I can tell you that.
Nice.
Evans now lines up as a tight end on the left side. Carson looking left, wants to throw it left. It's incomplete. Trying to get over there to Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh went towards the boundary. The pass came kind of back inside, incomplete.
Yeah, just a little off on the throw right there. I think he was so wide open. Carson got a little happy and was a little off on the throw.
By the way, want to welcome in on the video stream on YouTube any Crockett Pioneer fans tuning in from down Jonesboro way. Very happy to have your Pioneers here tonight at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. 3rd down, 7 for Dobyns-Bennett. They'll send 3 out to the right. Shear, along with Sensabaugh. Now Shear in motion. Carson wants to go down the seam. He's got it to Evans at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Dobyns-Bennett. Evans, Tiger, just kind of out-muscled Brendan Reed at the 20 to make the catch. Spun away from him, and it was green turf the rest of the way.
I mean, that was just an athletic play by Evans. I mean, he was right down the seam. Jake Carson put the ball right on him where it needed to be, and just a great play. As you said, he just wrestled it away, turned and ran, and nobody was catching Evans.
Yeah, Reed went for the interception, was maybe a half a step late, and that was all it needed.
So Dobyns-Bennett, the 39-yard touchdown. The extra point attempt by Thomas is up and good. 10:15 to go in the first quarter. Dobyns-Bennett strikes first. It's Dobyns-Bennett 7, David Crockett nothing. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities.
Tyson Thomas set to kick off. John Rucker deep.
Welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Titan Thomas kicks it, and that's going to go about 8 yards deep in the end zone for the touchback.
He was feeling that one. He got all of that.
The Dobyns-Bennett touchdown drive, 3 plays, 42 yards in 58 seconds. The touchdown, a 39-yard pass from Jake Carson to Levi Evans. For Carson, that's his 6th touchdown pass of the year. Evans, his 2nd touchdown receiving on the season. 1st and 10 Pioneers. Fox with Reed to his left. 2 wideouts to the right and 1 left. Fox gives to Reed. Reed trying to bounce it outside. Can't do it. Shear slices in there to make the tackle after a gain of maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Up the middle, not much there available for Pioneers.
Gain of 3.
And defensive front for Dobyns-Bennett kind of standing their ground thus far.
Reed picks up 3 yards. It will bring up 2nd and 7 from the 23. Fox, low snap. Fox picks it up, a little in trouble, breaks 1 tackle, but then runs in to several Indians as he gets back to the 22-yard line. In there for Dobyns-Bennett was Garrett Crowder, along with Caleb Baker to make the stop, and that play lost a yard, I think. It did.
Yeah, good presence of mind there from Fox, just to be able to get down there and get the ball and then just get it at least back to the line of scrimmage. He's a big boy, and he at least got it back to the line of scrimmage.
He eluded Evans back there, where it would have been a 4 or 5 yard loss. So now it's 3rd and 8 for Crockett. Pioneers checking the wristbands as the play comes in from the sideline. 3 wideouts left for the Pioneers. Reed looking that way, wants to throw it long downfield, and that is going to be incomplete. But they're going to have a penalty marker down. He was trying to get it to Braden Reed, and coming across the top was Vidal, and they're going to say Vidal got a hand on him and probably going to be called for interference.
I'm not sure about that one. I mean, that looked to me like, they were both going for the football.
Yeah. It looked to me like Vidal
during the play,
trying to
pass interference. Number 20 on the defense.
Cut inside over
15 yards to the previous spot.
Go up and pick that
First down.
Yeah, I don't think, guys, it's a really good call. The ball was overthrown, and we were actually at position going for the ball. There was a little contact there, but not for a pass interference.
It was not flag worthy in my estimation.
So Crockett on the 15-yard penalty picks up a 1st down. The drive continues at their 37. Fox, kind of an option, keeps it across the 40 out to the 43-yard line. Tackle by Evans, and also in on the stop for Dobyns-Bennett was Trace Benedict. And that play picked up about 6 yards.
It's a gain of 6 on the play.
Brings up 2nd and 4. The Pioneers. Dobyns-Bennett on top here, 7-0. 8:22 to go, first quarter. Probably 7 yards. It's all the way out to the 44. Here's Reed, and Reed going nowhere as Trace Benedict slides in to make the stop.
Stopped again by 71, Trace Benedict.
One of the Pioneers lost a helmet there.
That brings up 3rd down and 2.
Dominic Hopper had to come out for a play for Crockett.
Yeah, you don't want to bail him out on this 3rd down. We gave him the PI last time.
3rd down and 2. Indians crowding the line. Fox wants to throw. Here comes the pressure. Cox is in trouble, breaks away, and then down he goes. Finally back there, that was Carswell, who knocked him down back at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, we just brought the house right there. It was kind of a jailbreak, and there were Indians coming from all directions, and a couple of them hit him. No chance for the Pioneers to execute on that play.
The play lost 9 yards back to the 36. So it's 4th and 11. Slow snap. Googe gets it away. It's a good punt all the way towards the boundary. Will bounce And the Indians will pick it up at the 17. Coming back across the field and being tackled at the 25-yard line was Russell. John Rucker just came flying up there, and I thought Russell might have something coming this direction, but Lang. It was Lang that came over to make the tackle.
Yeah, it was a tremendous punt, and Russell did a great job. Actually, there was a fortuitous bounce kind of came to him. If not, that thing's going back probably to the 10 to the 5-yard line, but we at least got a little bit of positivity out of bringing it back out to 25.
So Dobyns-Bennett with 6:27 to go in the first quarter, leading 7-0. Takes over at its own 25. First down and 10. The punt was good for 47 yards by Gooch. Carson stays in there at quarterback. He'll pitch it. Going left to Baker, makes a cut, runs into a Pioneer, breaks one tackle, but not a second. Then down he goes at the 29.
Gains 5 on the play. Gains 4.
He made a lot out of nothing there, Tiger.
He did. He tried to get what you can, and he certainly did. But we'll take that. We'll take a first down run for 4.
2nd and 6. Brendan Reed, the tackle from his safety spot. So 2nd and 6 for the Indians. I believe they have a new running back in there. Phillips is in there at H-back now. Carson calling the signals. He'll hand it off straight up the middle and going nowhere. I believe was Minton. Nope, Myers.
I'm going to give him a yard, but not much else.
I didn't think he got a yard. Quite honestly, Hopper on the stop for Crockett, and he brings up 3rd down and 5. .5:16 to go first quarter. Tribe on top 7-0. A 39-yard touchdown pass from Jake Carson to Levi Evans on the Tribe's first offensive series. It was 3rd and 7 on that score. Now 3rd and 5 here. Carson with 2 wide outs, left and right. One comes in motion. That's Dixon. Carson wants to go downfield, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Gillespie. Gillespie with his arms up, acting as if he was held up earlier in the route. No flag, and so it'll be incomplete. And Manning will come in to punt.
Yeah, I think that was a good no call. There's both of them kind of going at it.
Well, I was going to say, I was watching it. Gillespie very carefully. He gave a pretty good push to get a separation.
So Manning on to punt. Aiden Clark back deep at the 30-yard line. Manning has it, boots it away. Short, wobbly kick, nearly hit a Pioneer and then bounces forward. A DB bounce inside the 40 to the 38. That's a 32-yard punt from Manning. And the Pioneers will start at the 38, 1st and 10. With 4:33 to go here in the first quarter. Dobyns-Bennett on top 7-0. Fox turns, gives it to Reed coming left, nothing doing. He came behind the quarterback, lost a yard. I believe Carswell was there first.
Carswell, Dunford, and Evans all were in there at the same time, guys.
Yeah, it's a little bit different look, different little handoff look, but took too long to develop, and Indians sniffed it out in short order, losing a yard on there with the Pioneers.
Reed, 4 carries for 3 yards thus far in the football game. 2nd and 11. 2 wideouts left and right for the Pioneers. Indians in that 4-man defensive front. Carswell actually lined up at defensive end, too. Now Fox wants to go downfield. The pass is caught by Rucker. No, it's now dropped by Rucker. And maybe that was Lane. I thought he had a one-handed catch, but coming down, it must have bounced off the turf, incomplete.
It did, Steve. When he came down, he did make one-handed catch. I tell you what, we had the tic-tac personal or pass interference early. That's two. One of their guys are pushing off offensively to get that separation.
So it's 3rd and 11 for Crockett. Clock stopped. 3:43 go first quarter with Indians on top 7-0. Crockett's gone with his 2 wide and 2 left formation a lot here in the first quarter. Fox now back to throw. Here comes some pressure. Fox rolling right. Could run and will run. 40, 45. He's got a first down across midfield. So he lumbers forward down to the 47-yard line. That's a pickup of 16 yards and a David Crockett first down.
Stop of the Indians 20, Nigel Vidal. That plays good for a Crockett first down.
Trying to get some power to my board over here, Steve. Sorry about that. Leaving you hanging here.
You're all right. Crockett with its first down to the 47. A big pickup to keep the drive going on 3rd and 11. There's a straight quarterback draw, and he runs into Levi Evans as he gets forward to about the 44. Pickup of 3.
Yeah, you got to love a quarterback with the size of Fox that gives you another weapon back there that you can utilize. And obviously, he showed it on that first down sprint, and again there on first down for the Crockett Pioneers. I think they're having a little bit more success as of late than that first drive demonstrated.
2nd and 7 from the Indian 44. Fox wants to throw it downfield. Looking down there for Lang, and Lang pushed off again with the ball in the air. No call, but it's incomplete. That's what I saw, Todd. That was right in front of you.
Exactly what it is. I mean, that's another push off to get separation, and that's an offensive pass interference. Right now, they're letting both teams, letting the receivers anyways, get their hands on them.
So that brings up 3rd and 7 from the 44. 2:44 to go first quarter.
They like to take their chances downfield. They like to, keep you honest.
Rucker and Lang out to the right for the Pioneers. Now Rucker in motion. Fox wants to throw and now kicks it over across there, intended for Rucker at the 40. Incomplete. He was open. There were some Indians waiting on him. He was still open, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, it was right there. I mean, he had an opportunity. Just could not bring it in. I'm not real sure if he would have been able to get to the first down marker, but did not give himself an opportunity there.
He was going to get to the first down marker. He's right in front of me. He had another 10 yards in front of him.
So Googe will come on the punt for the Pioneers. His 3rd punt here in the first quarter. Googe just kind of pooches it down there inside the 20. It takes a Pioneer roll, still rolling, and it's going to go all the way down to the 6-yard line. That'll be a 38-yard punt for Googe.
Definite change in field position here for the Pioneers and the Indians here. See what the Indians have in their bag of tricks to start a drive from the 7.
2:24 to go. In quarter number 1, Dobyns-Bennett will start at its 7 officially.
We are grateful for Spivey, King and Spivey for sponsoring the stream tonight on YouTube. We appreciate them very much. We'll tell you more about them in a little bit.
Noah Blankenship in at quarterback for Dobyns-Bennett. Blankenship hands to Graves going left, and Graves just powers his way left across the 10 to about the 12-yard line for 5 yards.
Yeah, very good push up front right there. Gives yourself a little bit more breathing room. Nice push by the line, and Graves hard running.
Just the Indians' 7th offensive play of the first quarter on my stats. Is that right? I believe it is. Anyway, Blankenship on 2nd and 5. Gives to Graves up the middle this time, and Graves runs into Hopper, among others. And he's going to be tackled as he gets to the 14-yard line, a pickup of 2. And brings up a big 3rd down and 3. Also in on the tackle is Julian Ema.
3rd down and 3.
1:19 to go first quarter.
This would be an interesting call here for 3rd down.
Yes. Want to make a good decision here.
This particular area of the field, you don't want to take too many chances, but give yourself a chance to make the conversion.
Empty backfield, and now we have a penalty marker down. I think Dobyns-Bennett's guilty of illegal procedure.
Prior to the snap.
They moved Graves out from the backfield out wide, and I'm not sure that maybe he was in the right spot, Todd.
Here's the call.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
I think they actually got somebody moving on that left side.
Must have. Second penalty for Dobyns-Bennett. It's a big one. It takes it from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8 back at the Indian 9-yard line.
It's tough. They had a nice play on right there. And penalties, man, it's thus far have really spelled disaster for the Indians.
So the Indians, 3rd and 9. Blankenship wants to set up a screen to Graves, does so 10. And the Indians can't get the block out there on the corner. And so Graves is swallowed up and stopped. I think that was that Lang? It was Lang. If Lang gets blocked, Tiger, we got to play.
Yeah, and there were 3 blockers right there in front of him, and they just overran him. You know, he was kind of unabated getting to the ball carrier. Now they're debating on whether or not this was a fumble.
The ball's on the ground, but they both think that the ground caused it.
Yeah, I thought the runner was down before the ball came out, but their coach is hot right now.
That's the end of the first quarter. Dobyns-Bennett 7, David Crockett nothing. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities. Welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. We start the second quarter. Dobyns-Bennett on top 7-0, but Brayton Manning in punt formation from his own 14 with Aiden Clark back deep for the Pioneers. Manning punts away a beautiful punt. That ball is going to sail over Clark's head and then kind of settle down at about the 37-yard line. If he gets a bounce on that thing, he's got a chance to break his own school record from a while ago. As it is, that was 13 and 36. That's a 49-yard punt for Manning.
No, that's college stuff right there. That was great height, great distance, and really flips the field for the Tribe.
Manning's punt good for 46 yards. 1st and 10, Crockett from the 38.
Crockett from its own 38, 1st and 10. It's 48 yards, boys, if you add it correctly. Here's Blankenship, Fox rolling left, out in the flat, incomplete. Trying to get it out there to Lang. It's a little bit low. Lang cannot come up with it.
Yeah, Fox was rolling out to his left, which is right-handed, and it automatically kind of sets up an awkward throw. And just couldn't make the connection right there. Bring up second down for the Pioneers.
14-0 over Heritage. Maryville 10, Alcoa nothing.
Second down.
Knoxville
And
14,
2.
Johnson City nothing.
Pioneers give it to Brendan Reed. Reed breaks one tackle, spins forward as he gets out to about the 42. Give him, actually the 43, they'll give him 5 yards. Carswell on the tackle.
Good tough run up inside there for Brendan Reed on that one. He earned every yard he got on that one.
Fox on 3rd and 5. Has 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Brendan Reed still in there. And running back, Fox. The option play, break Carswell's tackle. Coming up to upend Cox after a gain of 4 for Dobyns-Bennett was Carswell, excuse me. Broke the tackle of Dunford. And so he's got 4 yards. It's 4th and 1, guys.
Interesting call right here.
I think they got to punt it. You're just down 7, but it looks like they're going for it.
4th and 1. 10:35 to go first half. 7-0 Indians. It's a big call here for Crockett.
It is.
And Crockett lines up as if they're going to go for it. Power formation left. That's double H-back. They're going to run that way. That is Reed on the Wildcat. He's not going to make it. Indians stuff Reed back at the 46-yard line. And turned the Pioneers over on downs.
Wow, Tiger. I mean, I can't believe Hayden Chanley made that call right in the middle of the field, just down a touchdown. You've been holding Dobyns-Bennett's offense. That's huge.
Yeah, and that's a gutsy call. You know, we'll kind of come back and revisit this to see how it plays out for them. But I mean, Dobyns-Bennett did a great job, and they had power up there. They had the numbers, and just a strong front by the defensive line right there. Made some penetration. No chance for the Pioneers to make that conversion.
10:15 to go first half. Dobyns-Bennett takes over at the Crockett 47. 1st and 10. Carson back in at quarterback. Baker back in at running back. Carson will give to Baker up the middle, 45-40. Still on his feet. And Baker down to the 38, a 9-yard run. Tackled there by Crockett's Jake Whaley and Brendan Reed.
You know, we'll see if the pattern holds true, but I mean, for the Indians, the past 2 or 3 drives have been positive first down play, you know, stymie, penalty, kick.
Well, well, it's 2nd and 1 here, though. Wouldn't be surprised if you take a shot right here, though, guys.
No, at this position on the field, you're absolutely right, Todd.
By the way, those 2 Email boys on the defensive line, those are some big youngins.
Yep.
Good gracious. Straight up the middle, this is Baker. He's got a Select 7 Credit Union first down across the 35 to the 33, a 5-yard pickup for Baker. Just the 2nd first down of the game for Dobyns-Bennett. The other was on the touchdown.
Yep. That's a good power move right there. I think they will scrimmage from the 30. Yes, you are correct. 33.
Pistol formation. New running back in there. That is Myers. Indians have Shear, Phillips out to the right, and one more. Gillespie to the left. Straight up the middle, Myers running to his own blocker. Bounces off him, moves forward, tackled by Jake Whaley as he gets to the 30 after pickup of 3.
Gain of 4. Talk about the Pioneers, number 9, Jake Whaley.
Had a good seam up in front. Not able to make a whole lot of hay right there.
Coming up on 9 minutes to go here in the first half, 7-0 Indians. Indians trying to take advantage of turning Crockett over on downs at the Pioneer 47. Myers still on there at running back. Hayden Russell is the receiver far out to the right. They'll give it to Myers, trying the middle of that Crockett line. Not a lot there. Tackle by Gabe Farrell after no gain. They're going to say he was tackled at the 30-yard line.
They keep kind of running it right at Crockett, hoping to get a run either side. Now how do we decide to say their name? Emile brothers exit for a third down passing situation. Rusher.
Third and officially 6, I believe. From the 29, from the 30. Carson going downfield. The pass is intercepted at the 15. To the 20, Brendan Reed picks off the pass. I think that was intended for Ben Phillips. And Carson puts a little air in that when he gets it over Reed, and it's a touchdown.
It is, and I don't know if it was just a route that was too deep. Carson on the misfire. I'm not sure if it was a combination of both, but there was no went for Phillips to get that when it went right to the Pioneer.
Yeah, it was something went bad there because, guys, that was just right to the Pioneer. He was the closest one to it. About as easy as an interception you're going to get.
So with 7:55 to go in the first half, Crockett with the interception by Reed. And they take over 1st and 10 at the 27. Fox gives to Reed. Reed is hit by Dunford, then Evans, and then Carswell, and no gain for Reed.
Nice job of defense stringing that one along, not allowing any positive yardage on that offensive play. But Dobyns-Bennett sort of their own worst enemy in this first half thus far.
Garrett Crowder also in on the tackle for Dobyns-Bennett. Crowder's getting more and more snaps on that defensive line. For the Indians, the sophomore. Cousins of the center snapping Crowders from Blumpville, Tennessee. 3 wideouts to the left. Fox fakes it. Here comes the pressure. He is absolutely drilled in the backfield. The pass is incomplete. Dunford in on the hurry.
That was a fantastic play. Great pressure. Blake Dunford just came in and hit him right square in the chest. Pass floats high.
I'm surprised he even had a chance to get rid of it.
7:02 to go. 3rd down and 10.
Good answer right here by the Dobyns-Bennett defense after that interception turnover.
Here, just past the midway point of the second quarter, both teams with 2 first downs in the football game. Crockett on 3rd and 10 here. Empty backfield, wide receivers across the line. Fox, here comes the Indian pressure. Fox gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Trying to set up a wide receiver screen. Again, it was Dunford back there. And also for Dobyns-Bennett, I believe that was Trace Benedict pressuring Fox on the incomplete pass.
Yeah, just great execution right there. Great pressure. It had a defender right there at the wide receiver. That wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. Indians, no harm on the turnover. We get the ball back. Other than a loss of field position, no harm, no foul.
4th and 10 from the 27. Googe kicks it away towards the far sideline, bounces at the 50 and rolls forward, and it will go out of bounds at the 41. A 32-yard punt this time for Crockett.
You know, I think Dobyns-Bennett's got to do a better job, guys, on kick returns, punt returns. We've got 2 guys back, and we've still let the punter try to kick it away from us.
6:46 to go, first half. Dobyns-Bennett with the football, 1st and 10 at its 41-yard line. Don't forget at halftime we'll have Music Doctors and the Dobyns-Bennett Band halftime performance, part of it. We'll have the Nards Automotive Scoreboard Report. First half stats and scoring, and the conversation. Todd will be down there with Coach Joey Christian.
Again, this is going to be the 15th play of the first half.
Yeah.
For the drive.
Carson fakes the handoff, throws complete to Phillips. Phillips is hit at the 50, falls forward. He may be near A Dobyns-Bennett Indians select 7 credit union first down. I think that should be a first.
Yeah, there's a late flag, guys, around the 40-yard line. Let's see what the call is.
DB's backing up. That's not good.
Oh, my goodness.
During the play, illegal man downfield, number 74 on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
How do you get downfield when you're standing up and throwing the ball?
Joey Christian is absolutely losing his mind, and he is telling them, and he's saying there's no way. Joey's very animated. We know that, but I've not ever seen him this animated.
You can't have a play that fast and have a lineman downfield. I mean, it's almost physically impossible. And I'm not taking anything away from Braylon Banks, but I just don't think that he moves that fast, especially when he is
do they
blocking
see?
one of those.
I was getting ready to say.
Well, it's a one-step drop.
Yeah. 1st and 15. Fake to Graves. Carson to throw. Out to the right sideline is complete.
Yes.
Out at the 47. What a catch. That was Sensabaugh that came up with it.
Oh, that was a really good catch. And now it's Coach Chanley's turn to give an earful to the official over there. He didn't agree with the call. He didn't think it was a catch, apparently. Looked like one to me.
Sensabaugh with the catch of 11 yards. It's 2nd and 4 at the 47. Carson gives to Graves on the delay. Graves to midfield, powering down to the 47-yard line for a select 7 credit union first down. And now a late penalty marker comes flying in as well.
I'm about sure this is going to be hopefully dead ball personal foul against Crockett.
Graves rushed for 6 yards in the first down.
Well, Jonathan Gillespie went flying.
During the play, personal foul, number 23 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. Result of the play is a first down.
I think you were correct, Todd, in your assumption. What I saw proved to be the case as well. Somebody had a little extracurricular after the whistle.
I had the backside of the helmet full pulling him down a long ways.
So from the 47 to the 32 on the personal foul call. And it's 1st and 10 Indians. 5:47 to go first half. Tribe on top 7-0 here over Crockett. Graves stays in there at running back. And the give to Graves going right. Had a seam. It's got swallowed up pretty quickly, but Graves still gets 4 yards. Whaley over there. Also for Crockett on the stop was Farrell.
Well, they did a fantastic job. The right side of the lines kind of sealed off that right side. And Graves had all kinds of running room. Thought he could take it outside a little bit more yardage. But at any rate, sets up second down.
Tell you what, in this first half, guys, Crockett's linebackers have been very active. They get to the ball quick.
2nd and 6. Shear in motion left to right. Carson to throw. Carson lobs it down the field, intending for Gillespie. Gillespie inside. He had it for a moment. It's a tug of war. A tie goes to the receiver. Touchdown, Dobyns-Bennett.
Well, it was a PI, number 1, and then number 2, Jonathan Gillespie still caught his half of the ball, and the tie goes to the receiver. You're correct. That was a tremendous throw and catch.
A 28-yard touchdown pass from Jake Carson to Jonathan Gillespie. And Dobyns-Bennett extends its lead to 13-0. Extra point attempt by Thomas is up and good. New score, 4:46 to go first half. Dobyns-Bennett 14, David Crockett nothing. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities.
Spiveyville 14, Morristown West nothing. And Knox West 17, Fulton nothing. Titan Thomas set to kick off. Deep for the Pioneers, John Rucker.
All right, welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Steve Wilma, Tiger Brooks, Todd Freeman here. Dobyns-Bennett gets its second touchdown pass of the night from Jake Carson. This one to Jonathan Gillespie, extending its lead to 14-0 with 4:46 to go here in quarter number 2. Here's Titan Thomas to kick it off. Thomas boots it high, relatively deep, caught by Rucker at the 2 up the far sideline. Rucker to the 20, and he is hammered as he gets to the 21-yard line. I believe that was Baker that sliced in there to make the tackle. Yep. So Crockett will start at its 22-yard line.
First down and 10, Pioneers at the 22.
4:38. The drive for Dobyns-Bennett goes 5 plays, 59 yards. Actually, it was 4 plays. My bad, 4 plays. You don't count a penalty as a play. 4 plays, 59 yards, in 2 minutes even. And it's 14-0 Indians. Braden Reed in the backfield wants a little swing pass complete to the 20. Gets a block on the corner. That's a hold, and that play's coming back. The hold was at the 25-yard line.
And guys, there's another late flag down towards where out of bounds as well too.
Yeah, it's going to be probably offsetting replay the down.
Yes. I can tell by Jeff Lukey's reaction on the sideline, he wasn't pleased with the late hit by Dobyns-Bennett.
But it was a Devin. I mean, that was they definitely was like that block was nope. That's a hold.
Yeah.
So right there it is. Yeah, good call right there. I want to look at this late hit. I'm not sure.
It was Atchison that came over, and then Baker kind of cleaning it
During
up.
the play, we had 2 fouls. Holding on the offense is a live ball foul. After the play, late hit on the defense. Both penalties will be enforced. The first, 10 yards back from the 20, and then 15 dead ball.
Wow. So, guys, that is a complete pass to Braden Reed.
The down remains
for
first
a
down.
-2 yards to the 20. Then we're going to have a penalty of 10 yards to the 10 and a penalty of 15 on Dobyns-Bennett to the 27.
Timeout, David Crockett.
And Crockett wants a timeout.
Cantley's at the middle of the field. He doesn't understand.
I guess that for that to happen, the holding had to be at the 22 for it to go back to the 12, 10 yards and forward 15.
And that's about where, Steve, I don't know exactly where it was thrown at, but it was around the 20th yard line because it was right in front of me.
That's the first completed pass for Crockett in the football game.
I think
he went for no yards.
I think, guys, and y'all help me out with this. I think he's wanting the late hit to be a dead ball, but I don't think that's correct.
He said it was a dead ball.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. There was a live penalty, which was assessed, and then a dead ball penalty against Dobyns-Bennett, which is marked off.
The difference in the play was 5 yards. It will be 1st and 5, Crockett from the 27.
And let me say something, guys. That play was right in front of me on the throw. He didn't need to hold for him to break loose. No. It was a bad hold by Crockett.
So again, almost the same play. They swing out to Brendan Reed this time. He's at the 30, across the 30 to the 36-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards and a first down for Crockett.
Again, positive pass play for the Pioneers right here.
And guys, I was going to tell you, this game's kind of been kind of lackluster, kind of no intensity, but since the legal man downfield, that the game has actually kind of picked up intensity down here.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10, Crockett at the 36. First down number 3 of the first half for the Pioneers. And they're in the positive ledger on passing yards now. Indians showing blitz on the corner. Fox swings it out there and trying to get it on going the other way that time to Rucker, and that wasn't close.
No. Yeah, that was didn't quite get the angle right there, did Fox.
Trace Bendick rushing up the field, guys, kind of got into his throwing lane.
2nd and 10 from the 36. 3:40 to go first half. 14-0 Dobyns-Bennett. Indians have 14 points and 18 offensive plays. So Crockett. 2 wideouts left and right. Fox to throw, winds up, throws it downfield. Could be short. Intercepted, Nigel Vidal. Up the far sideline, 40, 30, 25, and all the way down. Vidal's all the way inside the 5, and a block in the back is coming on Dobyns-Bennett. Totally unnecessary. Terrible. At the 21-yard line.
Bless his heart.
I mean, there's flags that came from Center Street on that block. It was right. I mean, you can't block somebody in the back in wide open space.
I think there was a game being played in Volunteer that they got through a flag from. Very unnecessary.
At any rate.
During the return,
another turnover.
We had illegal block in the back on Dobyns-Bennett. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Indians.
The 5th penalty for 50 yards on Dobyns-Bennett. And following the interception, Dobyns-Bennett's 8th interception of the season, 2nd by Vidal. Indians will start 1st and 10 at the 30 with 3:26 to go in the first half.
Yeah, we got a hand on Fox right there that I think really kind of messed up that throw, and it obviously went awry for him.
Blankenship in at quarterback for Dobyns-Bennett. 3 wideouts to the left, Blankenship rolling left. Throws it out here complete to Phillips. Phillips right through 2 tacklers, a 3rd tackler, a 4th. He's still on his feet to the 20, to the 15. Phillips inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. What a run by Ben Phillips.
Oh, my word. I thought they had him dead to rights, and they fell away as if the shackles were falling off. I mean, he split him and just kept on trucking and broke another couple tackles before they finally brought him down.
Guys mark that. I'll tell you what, that's maybe a play of the game right there, potential.
Phillips, a 21-yard reception. Select 7 Credit Union. First down, the Indians. He broke 2 tackles at the 30. 1 at the 26, 4, 5. Still on his feet. And finally, it took 2 guys to get him down at the 9-yard line. Blankenship hands to Baker going right, nothing doing. One of those big defensive linemen knocks him down. Emal, which Emal was it? That would be Julian.
That was a huge play by Phillips right there. Just love the effort.
2nd and goal from the 9 for Dobyns-Bennett. Clock running, 2:45 to go. Indians trying to take this lead and increase it going into the locker room and getting the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, this is a big series right here.
Dixon in motion. Fake it to Myers. Rolling left is Blankenship. Running out of room. Throws into the end zone. Intercepted. Intercepted by Lane in the end zone. And he just forced that one. There wasn't anything there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and to see what he was seeing. He just did not see the defender there clearly. Oh, such an unfortunate turn of events for the Tribe, because that would have put the Pioneers in a pressure cooker, getting down by 3 touchdowns and then coming back having to give the ball to us in the second half.
Yeah, it was like you said, Tyler. He just forced that one. He should have ate that one, thrown it up there in about 7 rows deep.
Blankenship, that's his 1st interception of the year, the 4th thrown by Dobyns-Bennett quarterbacks, and 2nd tonight. 1st and 10, Crockett at its 20. 2 wideouts left and right for Fox. Fox quickly throws it out here to Braden Reed, and he dropped it. Heard some footsteps, perhaps, as that was Evans and also Baker coming on the coverage.
Tiger, you know what they say. You're going to get hit anyways. You better catch it.
Yeah, and Reed got rocked right there by Zart.
Yeah, he's got up limping. I think he got Charlie right there on that chin.
Clock stopped, 2:10 to go first half. Indians, by the way, with all 3 of its timeouts remaining. See if that comes into play here. Towards the end of the half, Fox fakes the handoff, wants to throw across. The pass complete to the 25 to the 30. This is Lang. Lang trying to wiggle free, can't from Russell, but he's out to the 33, a pickup of 13 yards and a Crockett first down.
Good throwing catch right there.
First and 10, Crockett.
Good job of Dobyns-Bennett keeping them in bounds too, though, guys, and not letting the clock stop.
I think the Pioneers did a better job than Dobyns-Bennett did, frankly. I think he could have got out of bounds, but he didn't. You're closer than I am, Todd. You probably saw it better. You and Alan Green photographed it down there. Here's first and 10. Fox throws it across the middle, complete to Rucker. The short game as Baker swallows him up at the 36. That'll be a pickup. Let's see where they mark it. Pickup of 4 to the 37.
Guys, I tell you what, Fox is getting tired of hitting. He's starting to argue with the official, not argue, but talk to him like, can I not get a break? But they're hitting him clean and in time.
That's a Rucker, I said. I think. We'll check it in a minute.
In a late
Timeout, Pioneers. Their second.
1:10 to go in the first half. We'll take a 60-second timeout. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities.
History. In 1954, DB won the season opener 18-0 over Virginia High of Bristol, Virginia. Here's a DB trivia. The first football game in school history was played against Virginia High back in 1921. In 1982, our Indians defeated Johnson City 13-12. This was the first victory under then new head coach Ted Wilson, the Silver Fox. Coach Wilson ended his 10-year career as the winningest coach in school history to date with a 79% win percentage and a record of 96-26.
And we missed that whole thing.
Yep. Back here at J. Fred Johnson Stadium, a quick timeout by the officials. They didn't give us enough time to come back, and Crockett on the delayed handoff to Brendan Reed. Reed broke a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage, found green turf up the right sideline, and Tiger, he goes 63 yards for the David Crockett touchdown. And the Pioneers are on the board with a big score with under a minute to go here in the first half.
Oh, just a game changer for the Pioneers.
Extra point attempt by Crockett is up and good. Chase struck the extra point. 54.9 seconds to go in the first half. And just like that, Dobyns-Bennett turns it over in the Crockett end zone, and Reed
just sort of a
goes 63.
Broken field run right there. Had dodged a couple of tackles, broke a couple tackles, and then just circles back around to the right. And it was just nothing but green space. No Indians available to do anything about that.
What are we reading this history book for over there?
With 233 victories.
For Crockett, that was a 4-play, 80-yard drive in 1 minute and 19 seconds. And that's a game changer, guys. And we're talking 21-0 at halftime, getting the ball in the second half, and a pick and a 63-yard run, and all of a sudden it's 14-7.
It changes just that quickly.
Dramatic change.
14, Chase Schroed set to kick off.
Indians have all 3 of their timeouts right here. You got 55 seconds on the clock. 14-7. Wonder how many chances you want to take here before the half. steal a score here, and then you get the ball at the second half would be a game changer back for the Indians.
And so Crockett kicks it off, but they did not wait for the ready
timeout
signal.
Pioneers.
Actually,
Their
they
last
called timeout. Coach Hayden Shanley wants a timeout before the kickoff. That's an interesting development.
Not sure what they were. There was kind of a quick kickoff. I mean, he was just kind of pooching it out there.
They did some calisthenics, and then they came out and kicked it real quick.
Yeah.
Knox Carnes 14, Tennessee High 13, Farragut 14, Oak Ridge 10.
Powell leading in the second quarter over Science Hill, 35-0.
Wow.
Carnes leads Tennessee High 14-13. Unicoi County over Happy Valley 15-0. Greenville over Morristown West 21-0. South Green over West Green 28-0. No score, Elizabethton and Boone. Hampton over Cloudland 6-0. Scott Stevens will have all your updated halftime scores. Our scores during halftime, Menards Automotive halftime scoreboard report.
Gillespie and Dixon deep for the Indians. 55 seconds to halftime.
So now it will be Schreck to kickoff, and he's taking a short approach this time. He's going to take 2 steps and pop it up. He does so straight up in the air. Dobyns-Bennett will take it at the 32. Carswell ran into his own man. And he's going to get about a 2-yard return. Carswell ran into Peyton Brooks over there trying to get the return. But now, Tiger, you got a situation, not bad field position. Maybe you try to make something happen here.
Yeah, that's the thing. You end up, allowing the Indians to have the ball on the 34-yard line right here with 3 timeouts and 48 seconds. There's enough time to get some things done.
So the Indians break the huddle. Jake Carson back at quarterback for the Indians. Empty backfield.
Clock is not running.
Nope.
Now it is.
Empty backfield for Carson. Carson throwing across the middle to Gillespie. Gillespie a short gain to the 42. And a quick timeout, I think, called by Dobyns-Bennett.
42, stopped by Brendan Reed. Timeout on the field.
Timeout, Indians. Their first timeout.
I said it was a short gain. It's actually 8 yards.
Yeah, 8-yard gain on first down. Two-minute O situation here for the Indians. Really don't see that often from the Tribe in terms of really cranking up the tempo. A lot of reads happening at the line of scrimmage. Kind of look at these stuff, see if we can manage it.
So 41.6 seconds to go first half. Tribe on top. 14-7. 2nd and 2. Carson looking to throw. Throws it out towards the right side. Complete. That is Sensabaugh across midfield to the 47.
I'm going to get up and try to
Pick up of 11.
Try to down the ball real quick right here.
Crockett 47-yard line.
That's a Select 7 Credit Union first down for the Tribe. Now Carson will clock it. It's an incomplete team pass.
Really only lost 7 seconds on that conversion. I guess we're going to correct that.
Please set the game clock to 32 seconds.
2nd and 10. That's a Crockett 47 with how many seconds to go? 32.
He said 32. I think that's wrong. The clock started when he snapped it.
Yeah. Well, it stopped on the first down to get the chains moved, and then I think they're saying he was late starting the clock back, but neither here nor there.
Carson, here comes the blitz by the Pioneers. Carson hit under pressure, throws, and I believe it's intercepted. Intercepted by Rucker at the Crockett 36-yard line. They brought the house, did Crockett.
Yeah, that's one of those things you just tell your quarterback, live to play another day, another down, throwing that thing away, throwing it into the dirt. He was kind of he was in the grasp right there, kind of going down, and he just tried to make a play, which you understand. But again, missed opportunities for the Tribe.
So Crockett will just take a knee here, it appears, on this team rush. And nobody wants to call another timeout, I don't believe.
That's going to take us to halftime.
And that'll do it. So at halftime, an interesting first half. Dobyns-Bennett leads at halftime 14-7. We're back in 2 minutes on ESPN Tri-Cities. All right, welcome back here to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. We're at halftime. The David Crockett marching band is on the field. Indians lead at 14-7. Welcome into the live stream Tiger, which is brought to you tonight by Spivey, King and Spivey.
Absolutely. Spivey, King and Spivey, LLP in Kingsport, Tennessee, is a general practice law firm focusing on criminal defense and family law issues. The firm serves the Tri-Cities area in Kingsport, Johnson City, Bristol, and surrounding areas, including Rogersville, Elizabethton, Greenville, Irwin, Mountain City, and beyond. Provides over 75 years of combined experience in matters dealing with criminal law, divorce, custody, business disputes, personal injury, workers' compensation, construction, civil litigation, and medical malpractice. Spivey, King and Spivey combines decades of trial experience in criminal and civil matters with the energy and perseverance which are demanded in today's modern legal environment. If you need help from Spivey, King and Spivey, give them a call at 423-245-4185 to schedule your appointment today.
All right, thank you very much, Tiger. We're going to take it back to the studio after this 2-minute timeout for the Nards Automotive Halftime Scoreboard Report. On the other side, we'll have the Music Doctors halftime moment and some of the performance for the Dobyns-Bennett Indian Marching Band. We'll do all that next. Nards Automotive Scoreboard Report is up next in 2 minutes on ESPN Tri-Cities. All right, welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. The Dobyns-Bennett Indian Marching Band taking the field for their halftime performance here in full uniform. First time, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you got for me, Tiger? What do you know?
Well, this is one of those shows that's kind of a best of hits from the past decade or so. That's about all I know.
In other words, nothing I'll know.
Well, I think there's some that you would probably go, I think I've heard that on
Heard that before. Probably heard my kids play it.
It's maybe a bit past our
wheelhouse.
Our wheelhouse.
There you go.
Speak for yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Dobyns-Bennett.
Indians lead it here 14-7. And, of course, we always appreciate Music Doctors, their sponsorship of our halftime music performance by the Indian Marching Band. And as soon as they get cranked up, we'll take it down to Todd. We're going to get you some of that music here on ESPN Tri-Cities and the live stream around the world.
Like It Like That by Cardi B and Love Drunk by Boys Like Girls. Please welcome drum majors Ella Halliburton, Connor Hall, Grace Nelson, Bethany Triplett, and the Dobyns-Bennett Marching Band.
All right, under the direction of Leif Cook, here is your Dobyns-Bennett Indian Marching Band. Marching Band performance sponsored by Music Doctors. While the band plays in the background, we'll get you our first half stats for the game. First downs, each team had 6 first downs in the first half. Rushing yards, Dobyns-Bennett 12 rushes for just 42 yards. Crockett 15 rushes for 91 yards. Don't forget 63 came on the touchdown run by Brendan Reed. Passing, Dobyns-Bennett 7 out of 12 for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Crockett 4 out of 14, 1 interception for 26 yards. Total yards, Dobyns-Bennett on just 24 plays, 165 yards. Meanwhile, Crockett on 29 plays gains 117 yards. Penalty yardage, Dobyns-Bennett penalized 5 times for 50 yards. Crockett 1 time for 10 yards. Neither team fumbled the football. Dobyns-Bennett punted twice for a 40.5-yard average, and Crockett punted 4 times for a 37.3-yard average. Individual numbers for Crockett: Jake Fox, the quarterback, 4 out of 14 for 26 yards. By the way, that's different than the official stats are listing, because I gave credit on the double penalty down here as a completed pass to Reed that didn't gain any yards. The yardage is the same. but we differ on our opinion on that play. Thus, I have receiving Isaiah Lang, 1 catch, 13 yards. Brendan Reed, 1 catch, 9 yards. Jake Rucker, 1 catch, 4 yards. And Braden Reed, 1 catch, 0 yards. Rushing, Brendan Reed, 8 rushes for 72 yards. And Jake Fox, 6 for 19. For Dobyns-Bennett, throwing the football, Jake Carson, 5 out of 9, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Noah Blankenship, 2 out of 2, 26 yards, 1 interception. There was 1 team pass on which the ball was caught in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Receiving, 2 catches, 36 yards for Jonathan Gillespie. 2 catches for 22 yards for Jaron Sensabaugh. 1 catch, 39 yards and a touchdown for Levi Evans. Ben Phillips, 1 catch, 21 yards. And Ishawn Graves, 1 catch, 5 yards. Rushing for Dobyns-Bennett, Caleb Baker, the leading rusher, 5 carries, 21 yards. Ishawn Graves, 4 carries, 17 yards. And Andrew Myers, 3 rushes for 4 yards. And, last week, Tiger, in the special teams department, we were unaware that Grayton Manning was not on the field last year. Going over these first half stats, rushing yardage, and just remembering some things defensively, we haven't called Hunter Minton tonight. I think it's something we need to look at and make sure he's here.
Right.
Number 27 when we start the second half.
Yeah, we get taught on that. It's been an interesting first half of football from Dobyns-Bennett's perspective. Just haven't been on point. They've not been able to kind of establish, what they have wanted to do, and that's for a variety of reasons: turnovers, interceptions, untimely penalties, uncharacteristic penalties. We can argue over a couple of those calls and kind of question some of that, but the bottom line is, Crockett has done just enough to be disruptive, yes. But I would argue that the bulk of the bad things that went against Dobyns-Bennett were self-inflicted. Just kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Just lots of opportunities that were missed in the first half that, had it been capitalized on, this is a totally different story. But as it stands, we've got a game. It's 14-7. We're about to start the second half. Dobyns-Bennett's going to receive the opening kickoff of this second half, and we're going to see what kind of team comes back out of the locker room. This is one of those situations where I would imagine there's been a lot of discussion right back there, and it might be a minute before those guys even come out. They're not even they've not darkened the door yet. They're talking about some things back there, and rightly so. I think some folks have to kind of refocus. I think that there was probably talk of not forcing the issue. Let's take advantage of what we have in front of us. Let's not try to be superhuman and make a play when we can live to play another day, another down. And so I don't want to take away anything from the Pioneers, but by and large, other than the 63-yard run for a touchdown, which was kind of a broken field great run by Reed, we've sort of kept them in check as well, but just we've got to get out of our own way as an Indian team.
Pioneers have returned to the playing surface. Dobyns-Bennett still yet to appear. Let's recap the scoring plays for you. Dobyns-Bennett's first possession, following a 3-and-out by Crockett. The Indians go 3 plays, 42 yards in 58 seconds. Evans, the 39-yard touchdown pass from Carson. Less than 2 minutes in the game, Dobyns-Bennett's on top 7-0. Then it was a struggle from that point on. Back and forth, exchange of punts, interceptions, exchange of interceptions. Indians finally get on the board again. Gillespie, a 28-yard pass from Carson. A 5-play, 59-yard drive in 2 minutes. 4:46 to go. Second quarter is 14-0. Dobyns-Bennett gets the Nigel Vidal interception. Takes over to Crockett 30. But then the Indians throw their own interception in the Crockett end zone. Crockett takes over at the 20. Get a couple of short passing gains, kind of those swing passes, and got a first down. And then Reed breaks those tackles you're talking about, goes 63 yards, and it's 14-7. That's your scoring. But Dobyns-Bennett there on that turnover with Vidal had a great opportunity to go up by 3 scores and get the football and put some big distance between themselves and the Pioneers. But turnovers have really been a problem here for the Indians in the first half.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, the Indians back on the playing surface now. Todd will have a moment here to catch up with Coach Christian.
And guys, we did some good things, but it'd be like we do 2 or 3 good things and then just one bad thing. And here comes Coach Christian. We'll definitely be talking and a walking.
Yep.
Coach Christian, I tell you what, it was a half. You did some good things, but it's like 3 good things and then one bad thing.
Yeah, too many bad things offensively for sure. We hadn't looked like ourselves, just hadn't had any continuity about it. You know, their blitz game's really giving us a little bit of trouble. Got to give them credit on that, but you can't turn the ball over 3 times in a half and expect to have anything positive come out of it. Defensively, though, great job. Other than one play, I thought our defense has played extremely well. We just got to keep on. We got to keep digging.
Coach, the penalties, too. About 5 penalties for 50 yards in that first half.
Yeah, too much. We got to win the kicking game, the turnovers. Like I said, the kicking game, turnovers, and penalties. And we're behind in all 3 of those right now. So that means 14-7 game. We got to, obviously, a lot of stuff we got to correct here this half.
Coach, how much more intense does your football team need to be in the second half?
Well, I think a lot more. I don't know that offensively we came out and, we're very focused and played like we need to play. But, defensively, I thought we played hard flying around the football. We just got to continue that.
Go get them second half, Coach.
All right, thanks, Todd. Roll Tide.
There you go, guys. And I think he's exactly right. I think offensively, guys, we didn't have that intensity. We was kind of going through the march. And I agree. That's before Joey came out, guys. I think that's your defense played such a great first half, and you really just let one big play at the end of the half kind of give you that sour taste, really, of a defense that really played very, very well in that first half.
All right, Todd, appreciate that very much. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. 1-minute timeout. Come back with the start of the second half in 1 minute on ESPN Tri-Cities. Back here at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. I was checking the Twitter and my emails and everything else communication-wise. We're not back.
Crockett to kick off the second half.
We start the second half. It's a short kickoff by Crockett, taken by Dobyns-Bennett at the 28. Across the 30 to the 35 to the 37. And the kickoff return there by Peyton Brooks of Dobyns-Bennett. The Tribe in great field position here as we start the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, they kicked it deep at the beginning of the game. You know, we just kind of giving us half the field is an interesting strategy. But we'll take it.
Yep. Maupin on the stop. Dylan Maupin on the stop for Crockett. 1st and 10 Indians. Jake Carson, the quarterback. 3 wideouts to the left. Baker at running back. Carson gives to Baker coming left. Baker makes a cut 40. Puts his head down. Big collision. Baker's out to the 45. Tackle there by Crockett's Gabe Farrell. But a good run of 7 yards by Baker on 1st down.
Yeah, very good run. Good push off of that left side of the line. Nice lead blockers. That's what you want on the 1st down run.
Brings up 2nd and 3 from the Tribe 45. Here's the give to Baker again. Baker across midfield of the 49 and Select 7 Credit Union. 1st down for the Tribe. A pickup of 6 yards.
That was a nice play right there. Kind of a drop step pull by the guard to set up that, open up that hole right there for the 1st down run.
The Indians come out of the locker room, Tiger, and they look like they just want to kind of exert their will a little bit.
Yeah,
show what they've got on the offensive line.
Yeah.
At least that's the first 2 plays we'll see here. 1st and 10, plus side of the 50, 49-yard line for the Indians. 3 wideouts to the right. Baker comes back with Carson. Baker going right. Baker 45. Baker down to about the 43-yard line. Another 6 yards for Baker. Tackle made by Crockett's Aiden Clark.
Well, that was interesting because, I mean, it took us a minute to kind of get lined up. I think Baker and Carson were not on the same page as far as what we were wanting to do right there. But once he got him lined up, he got us 6 yards. So who's to complain?
2nd and 4. Baker with runs of 7, 6, and 6 yards here to start the second half.
Offense
10 minutes.
Crisper here.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Right. 10 minutes to go 3rd quarter. 14-7 Indians. Here is a fake to Baker this time. Carson wants to go deep. Across the middle. Complete. Inside the 20. Now the ball comes out incomplete. Russell had it for a moment. Couldn't bring it down. Good defense by Rucker, who stuck his hand in there and helped create the incomplete pass as Russell hit the turf.
Yeah, Russell, he was trying to catch that thing for about a good 2 seconds, trying to bring it in, and Rucker did a nice job kind of disrupting that ability to do so. That was a big play right there. Good throw by Carson and put it right on him. Russell had good position, but Rucker worked around him, worked his arms around him to full effect right there.
So a big 3rd down and 4 now from the Crockett 43. Graves in at running back for Dobyns-Bennett. Carson, here comes the blitz. They give to Graves going right side. Graves with running room. Makes a move at the 30. Graves to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and is run out of bounds. He absolutely left a Crockett defender grasping for air over there at about the 30-yard line, and he's all the way down to the 4-yard line. 39 yards and a Select 7 Credit Union 1st and goal Indians.
Yeah, Graves hit that right side. He was untouched and kind of was coasting in 3rd gear and found a little something out there. Just couldn't get away from Reed, however. But, I mean, great job of blocking on the right side of that line.
Great play call, too, guys. They got to run away from the blitz.
Absolutely. So Graves stays in there. Pistol formation behind Carson. Evans, the H-back, now in motion. A give to Graves, and Graves is met behind the line of scrimmage. Football's a funny game. The guy that Graves left grasping for air at the 30 came slicing through and made the tackle at the 5.
Yeah, I mean, he was untouched, unabated right there, and just he was there about the time we gave the ball to Graves.
Yep.
The defender was there, just no chance.
That defender being Clark. Graves loses a yard. Back to the 5. 2nd and goal. Give up to middle. Graves fighting, breaking tackles into the end zone. Touchdown, Ashawn Graves. Graves, a 5-yard run. And he showed a burst, and now he showed some toughness on that run as well, Tiger.
He did, showed some power. He's got that lower body power. He's got a low center of gravity, and so you've got to try to bring him down and knock him off his spot. And good, tough run by Graves. Just a good opening drive by the Tribe. Found a little focus right there.
And, guys, it's always good to see about 5 defenders laying on their back after a play like that.
No doubt. 8:56 to go, 3rd quarter. Extra point good by Thomas, your new score. Dobyns-Bennett 21, David Crockett 7. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities. All right, starting the second half, Dobyns-Bennett, 7 plays, 62 yards, all on the ground. There was one pass. It was incomplete, but all on the ground. 3 rushes by Baker, 3 by Graves, and a 5-yard touchdown by Graves. And the kickoff goes into the end zone. That was Rucker back there trying to tiptoe the goal line, and he had it tiptoed. In the very last second, he let himself slide back in the end zone for the touchback. And so Crockett takes over at its 20-yard line. And Dobyns-Bennett there on the first drive of the half, they just came out and decided, you know what, we're just going to run it. And as you mentioned, Todd, great play call on the blitz. 2 linebackers were coming. Dobyns-Bennett went wide right, and there was nobody there. And Graves for 39 yards on the big play, and then a 5-yard touchdown run. 1st and 10, Crockett. Fox, the quarterback for the Pioneers. Braden Reed in motion. They wanted to get out there, complete to 20. And then a penalty marker is down. Hanging on over there to make the tackle for Dobyns-Bennett was also in on the stop for the Indians. That was Buckley.
During the run, face mask penalty on number 8 for defense. 5 yards, remains first down.
Oh my gosh.
So the pass from Fox to, who was that
I missed it myself.
to? It went for 3 yards, penalty for 5, and it's 1st and 2. I hate that penalty. I mean, if you're going to give him 5 yards on the extra, you got to make the down count, don't you?
Well, I mean, he just...
Fox with a pitch to Reed and nothing doing. Levi Evans over there to snuff it out.
That was old-fashioned option play right there. Good job by Dobyns-Bennett keeping the assignment.
Loss of 1 on the play to the 27.
So Reed, they say, lost a yard. And it will bring up 2nd down and 3 from the 27. Evans on the tackle for loss. Reed just gets it out here to Lang. Lang trying to turn the corner to the 30. Gets a 1st down as he gets out to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 8 from Fox to Lang.
Missed the hold on that one, guys.
1st and 10, David Crockett from the 35.
Yeah.
It's good blocking until when the defender goes, you got to let him go.
So it's 1st and 10, Crockett at the 35-yard line. Fox, single setback is Fox. Straight quarterback draw and straight up the middle. He's upended by Evans. Evans after a gain of 2 by Fox.
It was a good field by Evans, just again trying to use Fox's size and sneak one in there on him, but Evans sniffed it out in short order.
It's leaving your quarterback on an island out there.
And Tiger, keep an eye on Lang. He is really limping, and he didn't really run off the line of scrimmage that last play.
2nd 8 to Crockett. Fox wants to throw to Lang, and Lang out in front of him a bit, and Lang drops it incomplete.
Yeah, that's the second one of those kind of throws that have been falling incomplete today from Fox to Lang.
Brings up 3rd and 8. Clock stops. 7:18 to go, 3rd quarter, with Dobyns-Bennett on top. 21-7.
It's a big play right here. This is one of those in the first half. This is where we do something to shoot ourselves in the foot. We'll see which way the breeze is blowing right here, but it's a big play for Crockett.
Fox in shotgun formation. Low snap. He handles it. Wants to set up a screen to Brendan Reed. Reed trying to fight for a first down. Fights through a couple of tackles. I believe he's going to be about a half a yard short.
You are correct.
Reed needed 8, and got 7, I believe.
Crockett might be doing the same thing they did in the first half on that 4th down play, kind of bringing in that same package. Yep. Overload that left side right there.
So it's 4th and 1. Crockett going for it from its 44 officially. They've got a fullback in there, and that is Gabe Farrell. And 2 H-backs over there. That's Farrell and another one. And here is Reed on the Wildcat formation. I think he got it this time. He's going to get 3 yards to the 47 and a first down.
Gutsy call right there from Crockett.
Stopped by George Evans.
Very gutsy call. It's putting a lot of trust in your team. You know, if you don't go there, you kick it right there or whatever. You don't make it. You give the ball to us after having just scored and had a pretty decent offensive series.
Cannon Mullins comes in for Dobyns-Bennett at safety. So 1st and 10, Crockett at the 47. 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Indians on top, 21-7. Fox, here comes the Indian blitz. Fox is taken down all the way back at the 39-yard line. Hayden Shear came in from the left side, and Fox had no chance.
Yeah, Fox made it to his spot and met Hayden right there. I mean, he had no chance.
A loss of 8 yards back to the 39. And it's 2nd and 18. Three wide outs to the right for Crockett, 1 left. Here's Fox running that option again. Pitches it to Reed, and Reed is tackled as he gets maybe a yard. That was Carswell.
I think they're just going to get him back to the line of scrimmage, basically.
That's correct. No gain, and it brings up 3rd and 18.
Another big 3rd down.
Reed has 11 carries for 74 yards, but remember, 63 of them came on that one play. So it's 3rd and 18. Fox, another low snap, gets it across the middle, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Braden Reed. It might have been tipped by Shear. I'm not sure.
It was. I believe it was. I believe he got just a fingernail on it, enough to disrupt his ability to catch it.
So it brings up 4th and 18. And Crockett will punt it away for the 5th time. Edison Googe in punt formation. Line of scrimmage 39. Russell and Gillespie back for Dobyns-Bennett. Punt is not a good one. It goes out of bounds. That's going to be a really, really short punt. See where they're going to mark it. Official walking up the sideline. Coach Christian is showing him where to mark it, and he won't quite get to Coach Christian. You just knew he wasn't going to get that far. The punt goes 16 yards.
I do believe Coach Christian was closer to being correct right there, because it went out. They caught it over here on the maroon. At any rate, we'll take it at the 45.
4:29 to go in the third quarter. Dobyns-Bennett takes possession at its own 45, following the 16-yard punt by Crockett. And the quarterback is again Jake Carson for the Indians. Dixon. They hand it up the middle. This is Myers. Breaks one tackle. And Myers gets out to the 49-yard line. Tackled by Whaley and also by Farrell.
Gain of 4 on the play. Stop by 42, Farrell.
Second down
been
and
able
6.
to learn anything about Minton?
I have not yet.
Maryville 20, Alcoa 13.
I've been scanning the sideline, and I don't see a 27. Actually, I do. I do now, and he's in shorts down there, 27.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Carson. And movement by the Indians on the left side of the line, I believe.
We got a little
cost them
antsy.
5.
Got a little antsy. We were losing the clock right there, and did a great job of getting the snap off, but I think we jumped a little bit on the right side.
Before the play, false start, number 15 for the offense. 5 yards, remains second down.
7th penalty of the game for Dobyns-Bennett, coming on the heels of an 11 penalty game last week. 7 for 65, takes it from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 11. 3:35 clock running to go here in the third quarter. 21-7. Dobyns-Bennett on top.
Yeah, those pre-snap penalties will kill you. I mean, it's just one of those things that they will hear. They'll get an earful about that this week.
Myers stays in there at running back. 3 wideouts to the right. Myers going right. Myers 45. Myers gets back to the 49. Helmet comes off, and penalty flag comes down now. It's a 5-yard run, keeping up the penalty yardage by Myers. I think Crockett may be guilty of a personal foul.
Yeah, I think that's a personal foul. Ripped his face mask off.
During the run, personal foul, number 9 on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. Result of enforcement is a first down.
So a select 7 credit union first down as a result of the 15-yard penalty. It takes it all the way down to the Crockett 36-yard line.
From Crockett's 36-yard
That's a big penalty right there.
Mm-hmm.
Only the second on Crockett, but that was a big one for 15 yards. Moves it all the way down the Pioneer 36. Now Carson, empty backfield. Carson wants to throw. Throws it down here. It's complete to Shear down to the 15-yard line. And a select 7 credit union first down. That pickup of 21 yards from Carson to Shear.
Yeah, that's great protection right there. I mean, he had all day. Carson sets up, throws it out to the right flat there where Shear's just waiting on it.
Shear's first catch of it. 1st and 10 Indians. He came in as the Indians' leading receiver. The clock stopped momentarily. 2:40 to go. Again, Carson, empty backfield. Shear and Graves. Now Graves is going to come back. Shear goes left to right. Everybody on the right side of the field. And they'll run it that way. Graves trying to find a hole, makes a move. Penalty marker down. And that's not a good spot for a penalty marker. Ball's at the 10. Let's see what happens.
It's in the area of holding, I'm afraid.
Yep.
During the run, holding number 64 on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
So it's back to the 23. Graves got 2 yards to the 13. And the penalty marker of 10 yards takes it back to the 23. And to repeat a first down, 1st and 18.
Just a killer. Drive killers. Been a lot of those tonight thus far.
1st and 18. Graves stays in there running back. Carson wants to throw. Carson out in the flat, complete. I believe it's Shear, and the ball is on the ground, and Crockett has recovered at the 16-yard line. So Crockett recovers the fumble. Carson to Shear, good for 7 yards, but the fumble recovery at the 16 by Crockett.
Yeah, guys, that was right in front of me. He tried to make a move instead of securing the ball on the tackle, and he just got punched out.
Yeah, it looked like he had it brought up next to him like you're supposed to, like your coach to, but just a right hand on the right place, and the right place on the football, jarred that thing free.
So Crockett on the 4th turnover of the night on Dobyns-Bennett takes over at its 16-yard line. Fox fakes to Reed, wants to throw it deep. Down the field it goes, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Some contact over there. Crockett wanting a flag. There was none thrown. They're trying to get it to Lang, and the coverage out there by Nigel Vidal, and it's an incomplete pass.
I couldn't see. I couldn't tell if that was a...
If it was early, guys. I mean, it hit him in the hand, so I don't know,
He catches it, he's gone.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10. Fox with the pitch to Reed. Reed trying to get outside and can't do it.
For Brendan Reed on the carry.
Maybe a yard.
Stop by the Indians, 59, Blake Dockery.
That was Blake Dockery on the stop for the Indians. Give Reed a yard, and that's it. It's 3rd and 9.
Been a lot of these big moments in the game, these 3rd downs that could, make or break it for either side. And Crockett really needs to have this conversion. Dobyns-Bennett really needs for them not to.
1 minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Indians on top 21-7. Braden Reed, here comes the blitz by Mullins, and let's see, did he jump?
He didn't jump. He was way early. Jump would be like saying just a bit outside.
Before the play, encroachment on the defense. 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
3rd and 9 to 3rd and 4. That's a much difference.
Again, penalties in key situations, both offensively and defensively, have really been the story of the game for Dobyns-Bennett tonight.
That's 9 penalties for 80 yards now against the Indians. To go with 4 turnovers. And it's 3rd and 4 for Crockett. Fox rolling to his right. Pass out here is complete to the 29. That'll be enough for a first down. Complete to Clark. And a pickup of 7.
First down and 10, Pioneers from the 29.
I'll tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to Crockett. I mean, they've kept their heads in it. They've kept, falling and scratching and fighting.
First and 10 Pioneers at their 29. Fox calling signals, low snap, fake to Reed. Pass out here is complete, but he's going to lose 3 yards. That's complete to Lang for a loss of 3.
Brought down by 78, Aseka Capimo.
Somehow Capimo was out there making the tackle.
sure what a
Loss of 3 on the
loss of 3.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter, your score, Dobyns-Bennett 21 and David Crockett 7. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities. All right, welcome back here to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. We start the fourth quarter with the Indians on top, 21-7. Crockett facing 2nd and 13 from its own 26-yard line. Fox to throw, looking left, going to throw it downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get over here to Clark again. Throws it out of bounds, covered by Vidal.
Dale in coverage for the Indians.
Trying to get a home run right there, and kind of Fox just let him a little bit outside. Just ran out of real estate to complete that pass.
Third down, 13.
3rd and 13 for Crockett. Fox to throw. Caught, intercepted by Carswell at the 35, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. Needs a block, 10, 5. Carswell, he's all the way down to the 1-yard line. Carswell at the interception and the return of about 35 yards. Somebody hit Fox. Who was it?
Shears.
Was it Shear? I thought it was. And Carswell returns it all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, yeah.
So it's 1st and goal Indians.
Oh, you're talking about, I was talking about Shear on the block.
Somebody from the defensive end. It may have been Dockery, who's been in there a lot at defensive end. I formation for Dobyns-Bennett. Evans is your fullback. Graves your tailback. They'll give it to Evans, and he lunges into the end zone. Touchdown try. Evans, a 1-yard touchdown run, and it's 27-7 Dobyns-Bennett.
That's been the tale tonight. Just lots of ugliness on both sides. Lots of interceptions, turnovers, penalties, and that one goes into the favor of Dobyns-Bennett Indians.
Evans, for the 2nd straight game, has a touchdown rushing and a touchdown receiving. Extra point good by Titan Thomas. 11:32 to go in the football game. Dobyns-Bennett on top now, 28-7. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities.
Knox Falls 27, Jeff County 20, Knox Powell 42, Johnson City 14. Tyson Thomas set to kick off for the Indians. Rucker deep. for the Pioneers.
Thomas on the kickoff gives it to Rucker. Rucker to the 10, to the 15, and that's it. A host of Indians. Evans over there. Also, Ishawn Graves in on the tackle. They'll mark it at the 14-yard line.
I just got to tell you, that is just a tremendous coverage downfield. I mean, it's a high kick, but it catches it about the 2-3 yard line and can only get it out to the 14. I mean, that's just tough. That's tough coverage. That's excellent for the Indians.
And Tiger, not just the kick going down high into the 2, it's well placed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they kind of get over here towards the corner on the right side and really shortens up the field of what you have to cover.
1st and 10, Crockett at the 14. Fox throws it out here complete to Reed at the 10. Reed trying to fight outside, still on his feet, and is finally knocked out of bounds as he gets out to the 21-yard line. Tough run of 7 on the catch from Reed.
Yeah, Reed has had several of those tonight where he made a lot of those yards on his own. Just tough running. You gotta love what he brings and means to this Crockett Pioneer team.
2nd and 3. Crockett quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Now they're looking to the sideline for the play. Dobyns-Bennett's scoring drive, by the way, was 1 play, 1 yard, 5 seconds. Fox. The throw. Fox is going to unload, goes deep downfield. That pass is going to be, Hayden Russell. Turned around, had it right in his hands, and couldn't come down with it. It'll be incomplete.
Perfect defense by Russell right there. He's in perfect position, knows that he needs to get his head around. He does it in time to actually have had a great shot of intercepting the ball. I think he would tell you he should have had it.
Well, and Tiger should have had it, but when John Rucker's hanging all over your back, sometimes it makes it a little harder.
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 3 for Crockett. Clock stopped, 11:07 to go in the game. It's 28-7. Fox under pressure. Benedict got there, then down he goes. I think Capimo is in on that sack as well. And Fox is sacked, yes, Capimo.
Benedict and Capimo kind of met at the quarterback right there.
Yep. Fox loses 2 yards. Actually 3, they'll say. Back to the 18. So that was Benedict and Capimo on the sack. It's 4th and 6, and they punt it away. And it's taken by the Indians at the 47. Gillespie across the 45 to the 43. 26-yard punt.
Stop made by 4, Brendan Reed.
Hey, Todd, you came up with a little gift after the interview that you did on the field before the game. What was that you brought up here?
Well, I went and saw my favorite teacher of all time, and that was Coach David Hoover. And Coach Hoover had been retired from Dobyns-Bennett now for a little bit, and he decided that there needed to be a book about Dobyns-Bennett and the history of their football. And he spent about 2 or 3 years, guys, researching. He now has it out. 100 Years of Glory, 1921 to 2021, Dobyns-Bennett football. You can get them at the stadium, $25. Get on social media. You can find them. I think Steve's going to put a link up on Tri-City Sports. What a great read. What a great job by Coach David Hoover of writing that book.
Look forward to reading it. Got a copy myself. Here's Baker, and Baker going nowhere. Runs right into Parrish Combs. And Baker loses about 4 yards.
We did not account for Mr. Combs on that play. We met him in the backfield. There was no chance.
No. He had that play combed out.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Sorry.
I see, I was expecting that out of Tiger.
Woof.
2nd 14. 3 wideouts to the left for Carson. Baker stays in there at running back. Carson, the handoff to Baker. Baker back across the original line of scrimmage, +1. Pickup of 5. 3rd and 9. Farrell again on the stop.
Maryville, 20.
Tell you what, guys, we're lucky again to be on live stream tonight for Dobyns-Bennett. Also, a lot of people listening around the world. Y'all talking about reaching everybody around the world. Some of my dearest friend's daughter, Carriella, is listening from High Point, North Carolina. She she did not go to Dobyns-Bennett High School, but hey, her mom and dad's taught her well watching Dobyns-Bennett High School football on Friday night.
It's never too late.
That's right. Welcome into the adopted club there, my friend. I'm one of you.
You're the charter member of that.
There you go. 3rd and 9 from the Crockett 43. Carson to throw it. Carson across the middle, incomplete. I believe he was looking for Dixon. Yep. Rucker on the cover.
He had him just a little behind him, guys.
Just a hair off on the throw.
So it's 4th and 9 Indians. And now bring Manning in to punt it away.
See what Manning can do with this. He's had a couple of good ones tonight. He can get this down in the corner and out of bounds.
8:38 to go in the game. 28-7 Dobyns-Bennett. And Manning punts it away. And he punts that one well into the end zone.
Oh, well.
One time he hit that a little too well.
42-yard punt from Manning. And Crockett takes over at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 with 8:30 to go.
Talking about writing books, Steve, we still have to write our book once we retire.
Yep.
That'll go along well with the 100 years of Dobyns-Bennett football.
Oh, no question. First and 10. Fox again, low snap, ball still on the ground. Fox nothing to do with it, just picks it up and does what he can, maybe back to the line of scrimmage plus a half a yard. And that'll be about it.
Yeah, it's kind of pucker time when the ball rolls back there and hits you in the shoestrings, and Fox did all he could with it, just get back to the, a little bit past line of scrimmage.
Give him a yard.
Our good friend David McAvoy said he'd even buy that book, Steve.
He's probably in that book.
He's probably in that book. You just don't know it yet.
2nd and 9. Fox got a yard there on that scramble. Here's a pass out here to Lane, complete to the 25, tackled by Evans.
Take Fox pass complete to
Gain of only 4 yards. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Jeff County 27, Knox Hall's 27.
I've got Fox 11 out of 26, but only for 59 yards. They've just been real quick passes. That's all he's been able to do. 3rd and 5. Fox rolling right. Wants to throw it out in the flat. Is complete to be a first down. Gets it out to Clark, and Clark's taken out of bounds at about the 32. So he needed 5, got 7.
To Clark. Gain 7, first down and 10. Crockett from the 32.
We talked about early in the pregame, just how this is a far different Crockett team than what we were seeing back in the late 2000s when this thing started, series started. Really come up in the world. It's a game bunch right here.
Yep. And off to Brendan Reed. Reed, a couple of yards, tackled by Evans. We said that tonight, tackled by Evans.
And George Evans.
Once or twice.
They'll give Reed 3 yards, bring up 2nd and 7.
The issues with these short passes and short runs are just the fact that the clock is running out. 6:45 to go. Pioneers behind 28-7.
Yep, the clock is running. 6:37 to go. Fox looks to throw again. And Fox Capimo has him from behind, and down he goes at the 30. Capimo's kind of enjoying himself out there tonight.
He's having a good night. He's had quite a bit of pressure on him tonight. Fox has taken several shots. He loses yardage there, but sets up a third and very long.
3rd and 11. From the 31.
They'll spread the field and try to go 12 yards.
Yep.
It's what their modus operandi is at this point.
Here comes the rush. Fox steps up, still wants to throw and does so, and it is going to be incomplete at the 50-yard line, trying to get it to Clark. And Crockett will have to punt it away again.
You kind of get the feeling, in spite of themselves, the Indians have been able to sort of assert themselves a little bit more in the second half, kind of keeping the Pioneers in check, doing a few more things they wanted to do. Still lots of things need coaching. I mean, there's lots of room for improvement, real messy.
Punt is away. It's a fair catch called by the Indians at the 39. It's a 30-yard punt. Now we've got a penalty flag down late.
Good work.
We do not have a signal yet. We'll get the call here in a minute. Coach Christian is way out on the field having a conversation. I think he likes what he's about to hear. And they're going to call it on Dobyns-Bennett.
During the return, we had an illegal block in the back on the return team, 10 yards from that spot. First down.
An illegal block in the back on a fair catch.
I'm guessing that's kind of what Joey said. 5:35 to go in the game. 28-7 Dobyns-Bennett. That's penalty number 10. Carson with Caleb Baker in at running back. Baker up the middle. Puts his head down, spinning free. Baker still going forward. He's got at least 7, maybe 8 yards for Caleb Baker.
So just a good hard run right there. Baker's had several of those tonight. He's called upon him quite a bit in Minton's absence, whatever that's all about, we don't know. But he's been up to the task.
2nd and 2. Baker 11 carries for 49 yards by my count. I'll get the official count at some point. Carson giving to Baker, going right. Baker spins off the tackler at the 40, across the 45, and out to the 47-yard line he goes. That's 10 yards in the Select 7 Credit Union first down for the drive.
Baker just showing some real shiftiness and balance right there. I mean, that was a nice move, nice spin move, taking his time around that right side. Great blocking by the line. Just well executed.
That was the old triangle button on the PlayStation, the spin move.
Yeah.
Clock stopped, 4:47 to go. Carson, quick drop. Now wants to throw long downfield. Man, it's wide open. Gillespie has it. 15, 10, 5. He's in. Touchdown try. 53 yards. Carson to Gillespie.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, he was just absolutely beat the defensive back. I think that was, let's see, Isaiah Lang over there on defense just kind of got beat by a step and then kind of lost his footing, and it was just a matter of whether or not Gillespie was going to bring that ball in. Managed to tiptoe, stay in bounds. Just a great play.
And guys, he caught that over the wrong shoulder where that ball was thrown. What an incredible catch.
Thomas to attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 4:36 to go. Dobyns-Bennett on top, 35-7. We're back in 60 seconds on ESPN Tri-Cities.
Dobyns-Bennett scoring play, 53-yard touchdown pass from Jake Carson to Jonathan Gillespie. Titan Thomas with the PAT. The Indians lead 35-7. Elizabeth 13, Boone 13.
All right, Titan Thomas to kick off. 4:36 to go in the football game. Dobyns-Bennett now in control, 35-7 over the Pioneers. Thomas to kick it away, and it will go into the end zone. For the touchback.
I want to thank the good folks at Spivey King and Spivey for sponsoring our live stream on YouTube tonight. We so appreciate them making this available to everyone. General Practice Law Firm. We'll tell you a little bit more about them as we go along, but really thanks to Spivey King and Spivey and all they do for Dobyns-Bennett Indian football.
You know what, though, guys, in this second half, the offense has looked a lot better. And, you know, that's a typical Joey Christian team. He really does gets his football teams. It seems like they always do make the right adjustments and play well in the second half.
This is an equipment issue. What we got?
Correct, equipment issue.
We need to bring somebody in.
They're hollering for somebody, and there comes the somebody.
Yeah, they're going to hold it since it's equipment issue. It's like an injury.
Andrew Myers coming in there. Play some defense right there in the middle. Here's Fox. New running back in there. Fox gives it to him across the 20 to the 22, I believe.
25,
Lewis Soto.
On the carry for Crockett.
I think Levi Evans had a little blood on his arm. He had to get some tape wrapped around it. Now he's back in there.
Soto rushes for 2 yards. 2nd and 8.
That's Benedict on the tackle, guys.
Benedict's been all over the place. We didn't even have Soto on the depth chart. And it was quite an extensive depth chart that Coach Chandler gave me, too. Soto, a sophomore. He'll take the pitch, coming left, makes a cut, and runs into a Indian defender that was Nick Trent.
38, Nick Trent.
Soto with 2 more yards.
Get the youngsters some run here in this game.
The 3rd and 6, clock running, 3:36 to go.
He's got some quick feet.
Indians also have there on the defensive line, that is Hunter Scott, a senior. Here's a screen pass set up to Soto, and Levi Evans blasts Soto, and it's incomplete.
Welcome to the game, Mr. Soto. Meet Levi Evans. Mercy. That was a hammer.
And Crockett will have to punt it away again. Gooch to punt. Gillespie and Russell back deep. 3:16 to go. Gooch boots it end over end, and it will be Russell with the fair catch at the 47.
And makes a fair catch.
Well, no blocking in the back on that fair catch.
The 47-yard line.
29. It's the 7th punt of the night for Crockett. Indians will take over at the 47.
30, Alcoa 20. Elizabeth 13, Boone 13.
Elizabethton and Boone tied at 13 apiece. I did not see that coming. And Boone lost last week to 3A Loudon.
That's a bounce back.
Yeah. Just had to figure, though, with all the COVID stuff at Boone, that maybe they weren't at full force last week.
Right.
First and 10, Tribe. Blankenship, the quarterback. He'll pitch it. And who is it running the football? It's a new Indian, and they're running the football. And that would be Braden Simpson.
With a flag on the play.
Parker on the field.
Coming back.
Going to be a hold.
During the run, holding number 15 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
So the spot was the 44. So Simpson,
Not sure how that happened.
loses 3 yards. And then the penalty on top of that, back to the 34. And it's first and 23. Or Simpson comes in there and had a nice run, penalty marker behind the line, and you lose 3 yards on your rush. Blankenship motions Simpson up to his left. Blankenship fires it out there, incomplete, nearly intercepted. Intended it for Dixon, broken up there by Jake Whaley.
Unfortunately, we've run 2 plays, only run 30 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. I thought we might run it there. Second and 23. Still 2:31 to go. Lots of stuff coming on the postgame show. We've got our offensive and defensive players of the game and the play of the game. Scoring recap and stats. Todd will have some interviews as well from the field. Blankenship. Quick toss out here to Sensabaugh. And Sensabaugh gets out of bounds as he gets to the 36. And now we've got a penalty marker down. And the official, that was like I don't know what he's doing. He's actually throwing it at the guy, wasn't he, Tiger? Did you see that? He almost came over and pointed at him and then threw it at him.
After the play, personal foul, number 80 on the offense.
Called it on Dobyns-Bennett.
15 yards from the end of the run.
Oh, wow.
It'll be third down.
It's going to be third down in Broad Street. Good heavens.
The pass was complete to Sensabaugh and got to the 36, which would have been 2 yards. And then a penalty of 15 yards back to the 21. It's third down and 36. Blankenship. The give to Simpson up the middle. Simpson will get out near the 25, maybe 26-yard line.
Gains 5, stopped by 55. Tyshawn Robinson. Fourth down.
I'm not real sure we're going to be able to punt it for a first down.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's highly unlikely.
Clark deep for the Pioneers.
4th and 31. Clock is running, however, 1:50 to go. Indians letting the clock run for a while. Now they're going to punt it away. Manning boots it. Another tremendous punt by Manning. Fair catch called at the 33.
I take back everything I said, great Manning. You made a fool of me.
He needed 31. He got 41. How's that? First and 10, Crockett with 1:26 to go.
Yeah, I think Coach Christian's going to be glad about the way the team responded after half. I think you're right, Todd. I think still lots need to be cleaned up. Just a second game in a row where you hit double digits in penalties, which is just unconscionable.
12 penalties, 115 yards, Tiger. Fox stays in there, quarterback for Crockett. And the ball is on the ground and picked up by the running back, and he is way back inside the 20, all the way back to the 17-yard line. Tackle made by Dobyns-Bennett's Brady Hustle. But that play lost 14 yards. The ball carrier was Javon Emo.
I think we've seen all the emails in this game.
I tell you what, guys, you take one play away from the defense, and this has been a very, very good defensive game.
So it's 2nd and 24. Emo again across the 20, still on his feet, will fall forward to the 24. Will pick up 5.
Stop by 38, Nick Trent.
Third down and 19. 18 seconds to go. We may have one more play. I think the game clock and the play clock are about the same. And Crockett will run the play. It's another low snap. Emo has it. And Emo will finish the game off, getting back to the 25 for a pickup of 1. And that's going to do it. Your final score, Dobyns-Bennett 35 and David Crockett 7. We're back in 2 minutes with the post-game show right here on ESPN Tri-Cities. All right, welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Dobyns-Bennett wins it 35-7. over Crockett. It was 14-7 at halftime. And Tiger, I think in that second half, Dobyns-Bennett, I don't know how many passes they threw in the second half. It was not many. I mean, they did hit the big play for the touchdown, but by and large, especially on that opening drive of the second half, they put this football game on the shoulders of that offensive line.
Yeah.
And they said, boys, you're going to win it for us, and I think they did it.
Well, we questioned in the pregame, would our offensive line be able to create some holes, widen some gaps? You've got those brothers up there who, a lot of hoof. I mean, they're not easy to move out of the way, and they certainly had their work cut out for them. But, as you said, come out in the second half, really kind of wanted to assert themselves, control the game a little bit. And they did so. Lots of good first down runs, lots of positive things, a couple of big plays, but just so many penalties, turnovers in key positions, key possessions. I mean, it was a situation where it was just very difficult at times to get any momentum whatsoever, and yet they came out. They took the coaching, what Coach Christian and the assistants wanted to tell them, had to tell them at the halftime, and they came out in the second half as a different game. I mean, they pretty much just smothered Crockett. Outside of a 63-yard first half touchdown run, it was a quiet night for the Pioneer offense, and that was in large part due to the defense of Dobyns-Bennett.
Well, Tiger and Steve, looking back now that the game's over with, how important, though, was establishing that offensive change of attitude in that very first series of the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it was asserting themselves, just setting the tone and coming out and doing the things you need to do.
Looking at some stats for Crockett, the Pioneers had 146 total yards, and 63 of that, all but 83, came on that one run, by Reed that scored the touchdown. In the second half, Dobyns-Bennett outgained Crockett 179-29. And really dominated the football game in the second half. And the Indians overcame a lot. I mean, there was 12 penalties. They lost 115 yards on penalties, and they turned the football over 4 times.
Yeah.
And still won by 28.
Yeah.
So, when you make that many mistakes, but you still come out with a 4-touchdown win, that's you count that as a blessing. Absolutely.
I mean, it could have gotten very, very difficult for Crockett had we had half the penalties. I mean, just it's an exorbitant amount of penalties out there, exorbitant amount of turnovers. That's uncharacteristic of this Dobyns-Bennett team past several years. They haven't been that negligent with the football, but just last couple of games it's been that way, and so I think that it speaks to how dominant that Dobyns-Bennett can be at times. I mean, defensively, all year long, it's been lights out. I mean, they've the very few points and very few yards has this defense allowed. And, but there was lots of bright spots for the Crockett Pioneers. I mean, they've got some opportunity, I think, if they can pull some things together and execute correctly moving forward in this season for them. But I mean, it's really awkward because this sort of feels like the volunteer game. It's one of those things where at times it was a lot closer. Granted, a lot of that was just shooting ourselves in the foot. It didn't feel like a 35-7 game. And so it's just one of those things that we walk away, hey, nice win, but golly, that was ugly. There's so much to work on that we have to get better before we face some of the opponents that we're going to be facing in the weeks to come.
Crockett ran 60 plays for 146 total yards. That's less than 2.5 yards per play. You take out the 163, they ran 63-yard run. They ran 59 plays for only 83 yards. So the defense, when you look at the numbers, really played really lights out. I mean, 12 out of 30 passing, and it was only 65 yards. So that's 2 yards per pass attempt for Crockett. I mean, those are winning numbers no matter how you slice it.
Well, they were trying the short game, and here we go with Coach Christian.
All right. Todd's got Coach Christian on the field.
Coach, I tell you, we talked there at the halftime, and you said, we need to be a little bit more assertive. We need to have a little bit more aggression, need to establish it. And really that first series in that second half really was a different maker in that second half.
Yeah, we were able to come out that first drive after the halftime and, able to take it down to score. You make it a 2-score game there, but gosh almighty, we have another turnover. We get it down in here inside the 20. We have another turnover there. It's kind of like, 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometimes. And but so much credit's got to go to those guys right there. I thought David Crockett, they got a very good football team that is extremely well coached. Coach Chanley does an amazing job. Their players are coached too. It ain't like they're just out there freelancing. They're out there and do a good job as well.
Coach, what can you say? I mean, this is your 4th game. And I know you still got a lot of film to look at, but just looking back right after the game, I mean, this might have been your best defensive game for your team yet.
Well, we certainly made some plays. We were able to make it tough on people to run the ball, make them pass it. But, there's times they got some things open in the passing game. They just weren't able to connect there a few times. And, that stuff, obviously we got to shore up. That ain't what we're wanting to do. We're not wanting open receivers running down the field or anything. So, things we got to work on that for sure.
Give you some stats. Steve, what would you say their average yard was?
60 plays for 146 yards.
60 plays they ran for 146 yards, and that's including a 68-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Well, says a lot about our defense. Played great all year, and so much about them, and that's what we expect. And I think we'll continue to see that more and more. But everything, the opponents are going to get tougher and tougher as we go on down and get more into our 6A schedule.
Coach, you talked about we have to be Dobyns-Bennett. We have to play like Dobyns-Bennett.
Yeah.
And you look at this team, some of the things you're not doing, i.e. the turnovers, the penalties, the things you got to shore up, but really how they leave it on the field, that they are playing like a Dobyns-Bennett football team.
Oh, I know, absolutely. Now, listen, the way we play and how hard we play, I got zero complaints about that. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. If they'll come out and lay it on the line every play and do what they got to do, listen, everything's easy from then on. Coaching's easy if they're playing hard. And if we're not playing hard, there's nothing that we can do to wave a magic wand or whatever to make them play hard. So since they're doing that, listen, it's all good. And we're, I'm obviously very tickled about that, but definitely some things we got to have to and need to shore up, some assignment and then execute, what we talked about in pregame.
Yeah, absolutely. Individually, Coach, I think had a couple wide receivers. Gillespie had almost 80 yards in receiving, had a big touchdown catch. That was a great catch he had down there at that last touchdown.
Yeah, well, really, you had that long one there that he caught there, but he also had a good one here in the first half. He kind of got in a wrestling match for that ball. We need to leave that ball outside a little bit more, but, we brought it inside and gave a corner a chance to make a play. But listen, when Jonathan Gillespie goes up to get a 50-50 ball, I like to think it's probably about more 80-20. He's going to come down with it.
How about the 21-yard catch, the tight end Ben Phillips down here that just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing?
Oh, my gosh. Was that not amazing there? He just, rumbles, bumbles, stumbles, and then Steve will have to correct me, but I believe we didn't score on that drive. I believe we turned it over maybe the next play or something. That was about 2 or 3 plays later. So, listen, and that's the stuff Ben can do. He's, very athletic, very big. He can do that. So, we just got to get him more comfortable in the run game and where he can help us, in that part where we run the football and run it between the tackles, and he becomes a formidable blocker in there.
Coach, on defense, we called Trace Benedict's name quite a bit tonight.
Hey, Trace, what an addition from Texas he's been, kind of makes me think about this, everything's bigger and better in Texas. I don't know how big he is, but he did. He plays hard. He plays hard, and, I give him a hard time about it sometimes. He comes, and I'll say, well, now, is that how they do it in Texas? Or is in Tennessee better? You tell me. But he did. He plays hard, but, on our defensive line, all those guys I thought did good. I'm going to give a shout-out to Blake Dockery. Hits the quarterback's arm on Branson Carswell's interception that Branson, he's got to get to where he can get another half yard in there. We got to get him another shot. Yeah, Lord have mercy. But, that play's all made by him. And, he's another kid that's senior. has been stuck down, in the depth chart for 2 years and everything, and then now he's getting a chance to shine his senior year, and he's making a few plays for us here and there.
Coach, I know there's a lot of stuff that you want to work on, a lot of stuff you need. We need to clean up everything else, but still, 4-0 going into homecoming. That's got to be pleased with that.
Well, certainly pleased with the record for sure, and quite honestly, it's exactly where I thought we'd be. I'd been extremely disappointed if we weren't 4-0. But hey, like I said earlier, they're going to get tougher and tougher as we go along. But we need to enjoy a good homecoming week this week for sure. It's always great for all the fans or all the students and everything when dress-up days and whatnot. But we got to understand that we got a very good Westridge football team that's coming in next Friday. Should be a pretty raucous time, I would say.
I tell you what, for a team that we've never played in a brand new school, it's got that rivalry feel to it.
It does. I feel like I've heard so much about them. I know I've seen their staff over here. It's it's going to be a time for sure. So people might start saving seats right now for next week.
Coach, go enjoy this win. I know you got a lot of work to do this weekend, but I tell you what, Roll Tribe and big win, and nice to be 4-0.
Yeah, it is great to be 4-0. Can't wait to be at Golden Corral and get my Wednesday salad there with Steve. From Jackie. So we really do appreciate you guys and everything y'all do. And, thanks for covering us. And Roll Tribe.
Hey, we'll try to get Steve there on time this time.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to fight through those wrecks coming from the heights.
I'm gonna call some next week.
He said he'll be there, man.
Okay. All right, I'll count on it.
All right, thanks, guys. And, guys, I think you heard it from Coach Christian. I mean, he's happy that 4-0. He feels like we're doing a lot of good things, but he knows going on forward into the schedule, we're going to get into these regional matchups, and we're going to have to clean it up. You're not going to be able to have 5, 4, 3, 7 turnovers and 100 yards worth of penalties and be able to beat some of these teams coming up.
No question. Appreciate you very much, Todd. Make your way up here. We'll get Todd back in the booth, and we'll name our award winners a little bit later. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, come back and recap it, go over the game stats, and then hand out those awards as we continue here on the post-game show. Final score, Dobyns-Bennett 35 and David Crockett second. We're 7. We're back in 60 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever. We're back in a few minutes on ESPN Tri-Cities. All right, welcome back to J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Let's recap the game for you. Dobyns-Bennett kicked off to start the game, forced a 3-and-out on Crockett, took over at the Crockett 42-yard line. Baker ran for 3. It was an incomplete pass. And at the 39-yard line on 3rd down and 7, quarterback Jake Carson found tight end Levi Evans for a 39-yard touchdown pass. And less than 2 minutes in the game, Dobyns-Bennett led it 7-0. But the offense has really stalled the rest of the quarter. Lots of punts. There was some interceptions on both sides. And Dobyns-Bennett finally, midway through the second quarter, got the ball back with 6 minutes and 46 seconds to go following a Crockett punt, taking over at its 41, a penalty marker, took it back to the 36, an 11-yard completion to Sensabaugh. Graves ran for 6, then a penalty on Crockett took it down to the 32. Graves 4 yards, and then it was Carson to Gillespie, Jonathan Gillespie for 28 yards, a pass that I thought Gillespie caught to begin with. Then I thought the receiver had it, but then Gillespie came up with it for the touchdown. It was basically a jump ball. A tie ball goes to the receiver. And for the receiver, that was Gillespie, and it was 14-0. Dobyns-Bennett got an interception and got the ball back with a chance to go ahead, Tiger, 21-0 at halftime, and threw an interception into the Crockett end zone, ending that scoring threat. And then Crockett took the ball from the 20 and got a 63-yard run eventually after 2 Fox passes to Lang and to Rucker for 17 yards, took it to the 37, and their outstanding running back, Brendan Reed, broke a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage, broke free to the right side and went 63 yards for the touchdown. And suddenly, instead of a 3-touchdown game potential at halftime, it was a 14-7 game. But Dobyns-Bennett out of the break took possession at their 38 and went 7 plays, 62 yards, 6 of 7 plays on the ground. The only pass was an incompletion. So Baker ran for 7 yards, 6 yards, and 6 yards. Then it was Ishawn Graves for a 39-yard run, and then he finished off the drive with a 5-yard touchdown run, and that made it 21-7. In favor of Dobyns-Bennett. In the fourth quarter, Dobyns-Bennett scored again to make it 28-7. That play came with 11:32 to go. That was following the interception. Branson Carswell gets the interception, returns it roughly 35 yards to the 1-yard line. And credit Blake Dockery, of course, for the pressure on the quarterback, hitting the quarterback during the throw. Carswell, with his second interception of the season, takes it to the 1. Levi Evans plunges in. Dobyns-Bennett leads it 28-7. And then later in the game, Jake Carson completes another pass to Gillespie, this time for 53 yards. Another good adjustment by Gillespie with the ball in the air, as Todd called it. Actually caught it over the wrong shoulder. Tiptoed down the sideline, another 15 yards in the end zone. That completed the scoring as Dobyns-Bennett wins it 35-7. Let's go over some final stats for you. First downs, David Crockett had 10. Dobyns-Bennett had 14. Rushing yards, Crockett finishes with 30 rushes for 81 yards. Now, don't forget, they had 91 yards at halftime. So they rushed for minus 10 yards in the second half. Dobyns-Bennett, 27 rushes, 140 yards. Meanwhile, Dobyns-Bennett at the half, rushing yards only had 42. So Dobyns-Bennett rushes for 98 in the second half. Passing combined, Dobyns-Bennett 11 out of 19, 204 yards, 3 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. For Crockett, only 12 out of 30 passing for just 65 yards. The Pioneers also threw 2 interceptions. So total yards, Dobyns-Bennett 344, Crockett 146. The differential in the second half, however, was Dobyns-Bennett 179 and Crockett 29. Turnovers, Dobyns-Bennett had 4, the 3 picks. They also fumbled the ball. First fumble loss in 4 games for Dobyns-Bennett. Crockett did not fumble. Again, penalty yardage was just huge. Dobyns-Bennett 12 penalties, 110 yards. That's the second straight week Indians have had at least 110 yards in penalties. Crockett, 2 penalties for 30 yards. Crockett punted 8 times for a 31.6-yard average. Dobyns-Bennett punted 4 times for a 41-yard average. Look at some individual numbers. First of all, for the David Crockett Pioneers, the quarterback Jake Fox, 12 out of 30, 65 yards, 2 interceptions. Receiving, Brendan Reed, 3 receptions, 23 yards. Isaiah Lang, 4 for 22. Coming on late, that was Adrian Clark, 3 catches, 14 yards. Rucker, 2 for 6. Rushing, Brendan Reed, 13 rushes, 79 yards, 63 of which came on that one run. Fox, 11 carries, 7 yards. And then late, Soto came on and had 3 carries for -9 yards and lost a big 14 yards on that fumble back there. He did. So those are the numbers for David Crockett. For Dobyns-Bennett, quarterbacks Jake Carson, 8 out of 14 for 176 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Noah Blankenship, 3 out of 4, 28 yards, 1 interception. There was 1 team pass on the clock stoppage late in the first half. Receiving, Gillespie, 3 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Levi Evans, 1 reception, 39 yards, a touchdown. Shear, 2 for 26. Jaron Sensabaugh, 3 for 24. Phillips, 1 for 21, and it was quite the highlight reel, 21-yard catch and run. Graves, 1 for 5. Rushing, Ashawn Graves, 8 for 62. Baker, 12 for 59. Myers, 5 for 13. Graves had a touchdown. Simpson, 1 for, well, he had more than that because the one came on the penalty, but whatever. For whatever this stat program we use here at DB doesn't capture the penalties right still. Evans, 1 for 1 and 1 touchdown. And so those were the numbers for your Dobyns-Bennett Indians. And don't forget Hunter Minton, the other running back who's carried the ball a lot, was in street clothes tonight. I don't know what the situation there, but he was here. He was just in street clothes on the sideline. So that's a recap and the stats and defensive stats. We have Shear with the sack, Benedict with a sack. May have been more than, I think we had more than 2 sacks. Carswell with the interception. Vidal with an interception. So defensively, Indians played very, very well. No question about it. Time now to name our award winners. And we're going to, first of all, name the Chris Jenkins Insurance Group Offensive Player of the Game. And that's the Dobyns-Bennett receiver. Of course, that's Jonathan Gillespie we're talking about. He had a 28-yard touchdown catch, a 53-yard touchdown catch, 3 receptions, 89 yards in total. Really appreciate Chris Jenkins Insurance Group and his group, all the fine work they do here in Kingsport and their sponsorship of Dobyns-Bennett Athletics for a long time. And congratulations to Jonathan Gillespie, tonight's Chris Jenkins Insurance Group Offensive Player of the Game.
Yeah, and certainly deserving of that. Had some great catches. Really had to fight for it. Had to say, hey, Willie Mays over-the-shoulder catch down here, and then just the wrestling match that he won for the first touchdown there that he scored. I want to do an honorable mention there, though, for offensive player tonight, and that's Caleb Baker. He had some really tough runs out there in coming in for Hunter Minton. Had 12 rushes for 59 yards, about a 5-yard average, and really some nice runs. Obviously, Graves did as well. But, yeah, Jonathan Gillespie had a tremendous night catching the ball tonight.
No question. Time now to name our Tri-CitiesSports.com, Freeman Productions, Indian Springs Baptist Church, the trifecta, defensive player of the game. And tonight we're going to go with the defensive end Tiger, Trace Benedict, 6 feet 205, a senior, really starting to come in to his own there at defensive end. He had some huge shoes to fill there. And tonight he was all over the place. He was pressuring the quarterback, making tackles. I think he was in on a couple of sacks potentially. We'll get those official numbers well, but we just saw 71 all over the field tonight defensively for the Indians.
Yeah, absolutely. Very disruptive in the front line. Again, talked about the fact that we were outsized on both sides of the ball in the offensive and defensive lines, but both sides triumphed tonight. You know, our offensive line had tremendous push, tremendous protection. And Trace Benedict, hat tip, however, to Asika Capimo.
Yep.
Blake Dunford in on several plays as well. Eli Smith out there. But Trace Benedict is the defensive player of the game.
Yep. And what a great group of sponsors we have for that. Tri-CitiesSports.com. 18 years have been your source for local sports. Freeman Productions, if you've got a concert or event that needs sound and audio and all kinds of expertise on the technical side, Todd Freeman and his fine group are your folks. And, of course, if you're looking for a church home, by the way, Indian Springs Baptist Church on Hill Road out in Indian Springs, Tiger and his staff do a tremendous job. A great church family out there, and we appreciate those folks very much as well.
That's right. All right. We also want to do a hat tip to Spivey, King and Spivey, who is responsible for supporting tonight's stream. Many of you watching, thank you for watching us tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. Spivey, King and Spivey, Kingsport, Tennessee is a general practice law firm focusing on criminal defense and family law issues. The firm serves Tri-Cities area in Kingsport, Johnson City, Bristol, surrounding areas such as Rogersville, Elizabethton, Greenville, Irwin, Mountain City, and beyond. Provides 75 years of combined experience in matters dealing with criminal law, divorce, custody, business disputes, personal injury, workers' compensation, construction, civil litigation, medical malpractice. Spivey, King, and Spivey combines decades of trial experience in criminal and civil matters with the energy and perseverance which are demanded in today's modern legal environment. Call 423-245-4185 to schedule your appointment today.
One more award to hand out. That's our Holston Medical Group Play of the Game. Holston Medical Group, sponsored by the new Holston Medical Group Primary Specialty Care and Outpatient Diagnostic Center in Johnson City, conveniently located on Peoples Street next to At Home. HMG, your health partner for life. Visit HolstonMedicalGroup.com for more details. And tonight our play of the game is a Jonathan Gillespie touchdown pass from Jake Carson, the one in which I may be switching things up on you here, guys, but I'm going to go with the one in which he wrestled that ball away from the defender for the second touchdown to put Dobyns-Bennett up 14-0. That was a 28-yard pass from Carson to Gillespie.
Yeah, and I think just in that particular place in the game, the one down here was beautiful, but the game was put away at that time. The game was still much in doubt when he wrestled that ball away. That was a big play for Jonathan Gillespie, and I would agree that was a key play of the game and the play of the game.
No question. Well, it's been a fun night here at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. It's going to be much fun next week when the West Ridge Wolves, say that quickly 5 times in a row if you can, under the direction of head coach Justin Hilton. I know that few people have ever experienced a series which has not played a game but has as much high. I guess it's been since Sullivan South opened in 1980. You know, it's an instant rivalry. It's going to be a huge game. It's a region game. It's going to be a big night here next week. West Ridge will come in at 1-1, having lost last week to Science Hill. Dobyns-Bennett, of course, 4-0. A couple of extra games under the belt for the Indians versus what the Wolves have done. But it's going to be a game, and it's going to be that game every year right up there with Science Hill that people are going to start pointing to each and every year. So the first ever edition of Dobyns-Bennett and West Ridge right here next week. Get here early, because let me tell you, last week at West Ridge, it was a freaking zoo, okay? And all those folks are going to be coming to Dobyns-Bennett next week. So get here early, pack this side over here. We want to see this side packed. And we really look forward to an exciting time of Dobyns-Bennett football next Friday night. Don't forget, Wednesday night, I'll be at the Golden Corral in Eastman Road in Kingsport. Head coach Joey Christian will talk about this game. We'll preview the West Ridge game as well. So you're welcome to come by and enjoy a great bite to eat and listen in to the program before we get back here next week. Great job by all. Tiger, next level as always. Todd, of course, he's been here forever, setting things up, getting things going. Appreciate all you folks still watching on the live stream. Really have enjoyed being part of the live stream the first 2 games of the season this year. So we'll be back a little bit later and for more. It's great service that Dobyns-Bennett providing here now, and appreciate them letting the radio side of it be a part of that. You know, that's very kind of them. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't take that for granted. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, that'll do it here from J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Dobyns-Bennett football on ESPN Tri-Cities has been brought to you by Action Rentals and Sales, Appalachian Orthopedics, Associated Orthopedics of Kingsport, Center Street Wealth Management, Elite Manufacturing and Professional Services, Hamlet Dobson, Holston Medical Group, Ingalls, Italian Village, Jeff's Pipe and Muffler Shop, Jenkins Insurance Group, Kingsport Heating and Air, Max Medicine, Mart's Music Doctors, Nard's Automotive, Select 7 Credit Union, Spivey, King and Spivey, and Valley View Animal Clinic. Final score, Dobyns-Bennett 35, David Crockett 7. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the Ingles Final Scoreboard with Scott Stevens. We thank you for listening and watching. This has been Dobyns-Bennett Indian Football on your true home for all Dobyns-Bennett sports since 1942. We are ESPN Tri-Cities. Good night and Roll Tribe.